exam, Dr. Michaels' staff provided a gentle, professional cleaning that left my mouth feeling smooth and rejuvenated. Listen, we all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Check out Economwalk Dental Care at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give them a call at 262-567-7224. Start 2025 on a good note by feeling confident about your smile and go see my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care.
Things are getting even cheaper at Fleet Farm during Chick Days, March 6th through the 12th. We've got the most popular poultry breeds, all at the best prices guaranteed. Plus, get great deals on other chickening needs too, like 20% off Little Giant feeders and waterers. 40 pounds of Nature-Wise protein crumble is on sale for $16.99. And Kamek and Tamarack boots for the coop are all 25% off. Eggers, Leghorns, Reds. Now's the best time to get them during Fleet Farm Chick Days.
Academic Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs feature helps you stand out and hire fast. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 6 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Wednesday, March 12th, our top story. New tariffs taking effect.
I'm Erik Bilstad. More ballot action in Madison.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We are looking at a pretty good ride shaping up across the entire area. No major delays and no major incidents either. Volumes pretty light. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today, a nice one. Mostly sunny skies, high of 53 degrees. It'll be 44 for your high at the lake. Mostly clear and a low down to the freezing mark tonight. Right now at 35 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Trump's tariffs on aluminum and steel entering this country take effect today, and the European Union has been quick to counter.
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen saying two can play at that game.
As the United States are applying tariffs worth $28 billion, we are responding with countermeasures worth 26 billion euros.
American bourbon, jeans, and Harley-Davidson motorcycles facing tariffs of up to 50%. Cosmetics, clothes, wood, soybeans, chicken, beef, and other agricultural produce may also be included. The EU tariffs take effect next month, leaving some time for negotiations if Washington wants that. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Businesses continue to navigate an uncertain economic space with these tariffs. Lance Trailkill, owner of the All Metals Fabricating north of Dallas, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News he's already suffered from earlier tariffs.
Most of our aluminum comes from Canada. The heartbeat behind is to have more self-sustained resources, meaning mills in the United States. But the reality is we have 4 mills for aluminum in the United States, and it cannot even produce a tiny fraction of what U.S. manufacturers need.
So the tariff on steel and aluminum marks the first time in Trump's second term that a tariff's been applied to all countries.
Here at home, a teen arrested in Kansas for theft of his dead stepfather's property has now been booked into the Waukesha County Jail. 17-year-old Nikita Kasip is currently charged with stealing his stepfather, Donald Mayer's car and handgun. No charges have been filed related to the deaths of Mayer or Kasip's mother, Tatiana. Both were found dead earlier this month in their Waukesha home. Kasip is considered a, quote, person of interest in his parents' deaths.
A 15-year-old boy charged with killing his mother in her home in Franksville, Wisconsin, set to appear in court again today. Investigators say Reed Galinsky may have been inspired by a Netflix documentary on the Menendez brothers when he allegedly hit his mother with a dumbbell before repeatedly stabbing her. The court has set his bail at $1 million.
Wisconsin Elections Commission meets later this morning. Could take further action regarding the nearly 200 uncounted ballots in the city of Madison in the 2024 November election. WTMJ's Adam Roberts live in the Breaking News Center.
Vince, the body already voting to require Madison city workers to sit for depositions regarding those uncounted ballots. That happening last week. That list will likely include the city clerk, Mary Beth Witzel-Bell. Now, while it hasn't been determined that Witzel-Bell acted illegally by not notifying the commission of the uncounted ballots until December, Commission Chair Ann Jacobs did not hold much back during their meeting last Friday.
I am genuinely troubled by the number of profoundly bad decisions that are recited in these materials.
In today's hearing beginning at 3 this afternoon.
Legislation to head off a partial government shutdown on Friday is working its way through Congress.
The House-passed bill funds the government through September, allowing Elon Musk's Doge task force wide discretion to make cuts. With at least one Republican senator, Kentucky's Rand Paul opposed, at least 8 Democratic votes are needed to get the 60 votes needed to pass the finish line. Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson dares Democrats to let it fail.
I hope there are at least a number of Democrats in the Senate who will do the right thing. If not, this will be on their shoulders.
The Senate Democratic leadership has been publicly silent about how they'll handle it. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up, shots fired at a major U.S. airport. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:04.
Nestled in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest lies the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Fox and Hounds. Journey through 90 years of history in the timbered stone structure. It's gorgeous. And when you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free 7 days a week. An amazing deal at an amazing place. Choice steaks, ribs, seafood, pasta, a big fresh salad, even the steak and lobster, any entree, your second dinner's free. The Fox and Hounds desserts, and I love those, and huge ice cream drinks, buy one, get one free. Unwind with an old-fashioned, a Manhattan, 20 bourbons on their bourbon list, over 100 fine wines, 8 elegant dining rooms with real wood-burning fireplaces. Wherever you live, it's worth the spectacular drive through the Kettle Moraine for your free dinner. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill, a Top Choice Award winner for fine dining and most romantic restaurant. Take your family to the Fox and Hounds this week. Half your dinners are free. I love this place. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Julie Granger is the president of Junior Achievement of Wisconsin. Julie, your organization has business technology from James Imaging Systems. Yet today, please tell us about Junior Achievement's unique mission.
Junior Achievement of Wisconsin has a mission of inspiring and preparing young people for success in a global economy. We serve students anywhere from kindergarten through 12th grade, and we just started serving young adults 18 to 25.
I understand financial literacy is also an important part of your mission.
Financial literacy is critical to the long-term success of every individual so that they can plan their futures and they can live their dreams.
To help turn those dreams into reality, how can everyone get involved?
We are looking for people who are willing to donate their time, treasure, and talent to the organization.
What's the first step?
The best way to reach us is through our website, wisconsin.ja.org.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Burkhart.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:06.
An inexcusable finish to the Bucks and Pacers game in Indiana. We've got it in sports at 6:15.
Still hard to believe that Bucks legend Junior Bridgman passed away Tuesday in Louisville. Bridgman played for the Bucks for 10 seasons, only recently became a minority owner in September of last year, had a phenomenal career post-playing days. Bucks head coach Doc Rivers says Bridgman was the model of success that all players should aspire to.
When he was an NBA player, if you'd have just met him on the street, you wouldn't have known. He wouldn't have told you. And he didn't act like it. When he became a billionaire, you wouldn't have known, and he would not have told you, and he didn't act like it. You know, the word gentleman is like gentleman. That is as good as you can get with Junior.
Bridgman was 71 years old.
Appleton's airport will open 3 new gates in anticipation of additional travelers during the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay next month. The new gate's part of a larger concourse project that, when finished, will be able to accommodate bigger planes. Outagamie County Executive Tom Nelson saying the expansion is vital for the region.
That supports 3,000 jobs in our community and generates about $700 million worth of economic activity every year.
In 2024, Appleton International recorded 1 million travelers for the first time in its history.
In Chicago,
Is an assistant police at 2 West Upper Roadway Street.
says gunshots fired at the airport.
Audio from Broadcastify there. A person hurt in a shooting this morning at O'Hare Airport. And gunfire reported on the roadway just outside Terminal 2. Police say several people got into a fight, spilled outside when a gun was pulled. Man was shot and hit. That person now in the hospital.
The Piano Man is pushing off several of his 2025 tour dates, including the big one scheduled for here in Milwaukee, April 26th.
Sing us a song, you're the Piano Man.
It's one of 8 concerts being postponed as the 75-year-old Joel recovers from recent surgery. According to a statement from the artist, Joel is expected to make a full recovery, and tour dates scheduled from July 5th on will proceed as planned. The April 26th show in Milwaukee with Sting has yet to be rescheduled. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Billy Joel last played in Milwaukee in 2019. 6:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield makes vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com. Debbie.
All right, quiet ride across the entire system right now. No major delays around the area and no incidents either. So volume's relatively light for this time of the morning, so we're looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine for today. Cooler lakeside with the breeze out of the east stuck in the mid-40s. Inland spots will climb towards the lower 50s. Tonight, mostly clear. Low temperatures down near freezing. More sunshine for Thursday. High temperatures warming near 50 by the lake. Upper 50s and close to 60 inland. Friday, partly cloudy, breezy, and warm. High temperatures in the lower 60s by the lake. Close to 70 inland. Look for storms to arrive Friday night into Saturday morning. Mostly cloudy skies for Saturday with high temperatures in the 50s with breezy winds and a few showers. Sunday, mostly cloudy, breezy, cooler with the chance for a few flurries as highs fall into the upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
35 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
Coming up on 6:12, great to have you with us on this Wednesday morning. Power restored to We Energy's customers on Milwaukee's east side, plunged into darkness Tuesday night. You're scratching your head. We didn't have any weather overnight.
Nothing.
Right? No big winds, nothing of that nature.
Not really.
What caused this? We Energy is confirming to WTMJ's Jessica Ty, who was in contact with them overnight, the power outage was caused by a Mylar balloon coming into contact with an overhead power line.
Oh.
Just one, not 99, though.
Nicht 99 Luftballon. The balloons, so we're talking about the ones that are shiny.
Yeah.
And that's a metallic coating on the Mylar and that can conduct electricity. So if these things are floating around and they get caught in wires, it connects one wire to another wire, and it can cause these power outages. So I checked the We Energy's outage map. I don't see how long they were out. The power outage map is no longer showing that outage on the east side, so assuming lights are back on this morning.
Okay.
But this has been a thing for We Energies. We initially laughed, and they're like, no. We Energy is confirming last year alone, nearly 8,000 We Energies customers lost power due to outages caused by Mylar balloons.
Yeah.
So they're just begging you
Well, that used to be the big thing. Remember when you were a kid? Like, you'd write the little note in one and watch them all float off, or we'd have, like, big honorary tributes to someone or something by letting
Today's festivities will be followed by a balloon release.
Yes,
Hey!
let's all litter.
Hey, yes, let's start from the point of this is all litter. It comes down, and then secondarily, these balloons with the metallic coating can cause these
Makes
power
sense,
outages.
yeah.
So it appears that's what happened, but the lights should be back on. I'm Milwaukee's East Side this morning.
Are you on track to achieve your retirement plans? Hi, I'm Jeff Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We've recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move to Creative expands our ability to provide comprehensive wealth management, investment advisory, and retirement planning services. Now is the time to put your lifetime of hard work into action. For over 37 years, we've helped clients toward making their retirement dreams become a reality, and we'd like to help you too. And the best part, your plan will be completely tailored to you. Our in-house team of specialists will take the time to learn about you and your family, review your current situation, and find out what your goals are. Then we'll design a plan to help you get there. To get started, request your free meeting today with one of our fiduciary advisors by visiting creativeplanning.com. Whether you have met with us in the past or this will be your first meeting with us, we're excited to introduce Kowal Investment Group to you as Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com today.
Vince Vitrano here, telling you about Built Right's annual Friends and Family mattress sale. It's on right now. The one location saves you time and money, and Built Right makes it easy to shop and easy to buy. I talk about Built Right all the time. Want to hear from one of my fellow customers. This is Jenna from Cudahy. She writes, mattress shopping, I've done the research for you. This is the best place to go for absolute quality at a good price. Now, she says to ask for JD. She said, JD helped us years ago to find our bed and was able to help us today find the right bed for our 14-year-old. JD knows the products and has great strategy of questions to really figure out what you need. That was absolutely our experience. My wife and I went, and we were looking for living room furniture as well as a mattress for our son. And just the process of walking in the door and say, all right, tell me about your space. We even brought pictures of our living room in, mapped it all out, and thought this would fit here, this would fit there. What are you looking for in terms of comfort? How do you want this space to function? So good. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, of course, Built Right is closed to be with family. Make sure to tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
A double heartbreaker for the Bucks Tuesday night. Learning before the game, of course, the passing of the great player and a better man, Junior Bridgman. And then an improbable finish to a hard-fought game against the Pacers in Indiana. Bucks up 3 seconds left. Pacers with the ball.
Here comes the inbound pass. Nembhard gets it to Halliburton. Off balance. The three. He hits it with a foul. You have got to be kidding me. Tyrese Halliburton heaves it up with 3 seconds on the clock and hits it with a foul. It is a stunned house in a house that is in full revelry now.
Dave Kane on the call right here on WTMJ. So Giannis on the foul. Again, Bucks were up 3. Halliburton hits the 3 and then drops the free throw. Pacers win 115-114.
They blow that whistle on LeBron if LeBron was guarding
I don't know,
Halliburton.
man. Giannis doesn't seem to get the respect. Head coach Doc Rivers.
He was open the whole play, and so there was miscommunication there. I always think that's on me and on my staff. Not on our guys, and we'll have to figure it out because that's a play that should never happen.
That's a play that should never happen.
You can't lose that game.
Bucks host the Lakers at 6:30 tomorrow night.
Of course, you mentioned Junior Bridgman. Sad news across the entire NBA when that news broke. Just 71 years old. Doc Rivers emotional talking about that. Also wanted to bring you this. So Shaq on TNT was emotional talking about Bridgman because he said he modeled his post-basketball career after Junior.
A lot of people don't know this, but I've patterned my whole business acumen after Junior Bridgman. They always tell us stories about how 75% of athletes 0 to 5 years after they're done playing go broke, and I never wanted to be that. So I always started looking at people, Michael, of course, Magic. But I remember one time the Forbes list came out, and I was like, oh, I know I'm on this list, all the commercials I do, and I saw his name. I reached out to him, and we started talking, and, he had Wendy's, I started Big Chicken, Pepsi and Coke. So everything that he did, I tried to pattern after him. I just talked to him the other day because we were getting ready to do business. So my condolences goes out to his partner, Charles, to his family, his daughter, his son. But this one really hit hard for me because he was definitely somebody that I looked up to.
Junior Bridgman, just 71 years old. Coach Doc Rivers saying that, you wanted to be him. He's the one you looked up to, not because of what he did on the court, but what he did off the court. He wanted to be an NBA owner and was. That's what makes him so amazing. That's what kids should want to be, and that's what Doc said. We'll hear more from the coach at 6:45. I want to bring you this. So we'll make you leave on a happier note. So we told you yesterday was Jackson Churio's birthday, so that's how it sounded in the clubhouse. Brewers player is celebrating Chewy turning 21. Gave him a cake there, made him stand there and hold the cake while they rubbed frosting. Peralta's like rubbing it on his face.
He did not. You made
and
that up. Like a wedding?
Yes, he's just kind of holding it. Had to sit there and hold this cake. So Pat Murphy afterward had this funny thing to say.
I mean, when Yelly presented him with his gift, I said, the only difference, think back 1 year, Jackson, you would have dropped it.
There you go. There you go. All right. Speaking of that, with Blake Perkins out, there was talk of Churio playing some center field.
Yeah.
It sounds like most of that'll be done with Mitchell and Fralick at that spot, but Churio could a little bit. As far as the games go, Vinny Capra now has 5 home runs. Capra just keeps hitting. He's making his case to be on the roster. We'll see if it happens. They beat the Cubs 9-7. No game today. They play the White Sox tomorrow.
And the NFL's 2025 season officially begins today, 3 o'clock our time. So look for the Packers to announce then or sometime thereafter the signing of these free agents we've been talking about, offensive lineman Aaron Banks and cornerback Nate Hobbs. Nothing else popping up as potential free agent or trade deals at the moment.
Whatever you want to call this season, we're over it. Time to look forward to
fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone.
Spring training is finally here and back on the radio.
Back again and gone again for Hoskins.
Make sure to catch our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Giants Friday at 3. No matter the season, we are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? We are too. At Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at Wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This week's Home Improvement Showcase is sponsored by Yutka Fence, keeping families and homes safe by protecting what you love most.
6:21, update on the morning drive. Here, Debbie.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good out there right now. Light volume, full freeway speeds around the area. Nothing really to slow you down just yet, so we are in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunny today, a high of 53 inland. Tonight, clear, a low of 32. Thursday, sunny, 59 inland. Friday, partly cloudy, high of 70 inland. Got to keep an eye on the forecast, though, for Friday night. Could see some thunderstorms Friday night. Right now, 35 at 6:21.
Come with me now.
Spherex and Punch on their way to map out our universe like never before and
Mapping out the universe like never before. Blasting into space overnight. NASA's newest space telescope rocketing into orbit. A few weather monitoring satellites on board. The SpaceX rocket as well. The liftoff from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. But Erik, all eyes. All eyes are on the Cape tonight.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
So far, a go for launch. Weather looks good. Crew 10, 2 astronauts from NASA, an astronaut from Japan, and a Russian cosmonaut scheduled to lift off, headed for the International Space Station. But this mission is less about who's going up and more about who's coming back.
We're coming up to get you. I've authorized Elon. I said, can you get them out? Because, they've been left up there. I hope they like each other.
We're coming up to get you. President Trump perhaps taking a bit more credit for the mission than is actually deserved.
Was he in the Tesla when he was saying this?
Yes, there was that the other day. But he is right. They have been left up there. Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams left Earth in June for a 1-week mission. And they're still not home.
That's unbelievable to me.
So they've been living in space. There was trouble with the Boeing operation that was to bring them home. 9 months now they've been up there, and this mission is supposed to finally bring them home. The launch tonight, then docking with the ISS early tomorrow morning. Now, Butch and Sonny won't exactly be on their way home right away, so it's not like we're up and back. More on that in a moment, but first, this quick aside. A few more comments from the president where he was speaking last week in the Oval Office about the upcoming mission. Sonny and Butch.
I hope they like each other, but maybe they'll love each other. I don't know.
Hang on, what?
Maybe they'll love each other. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
It's been noted in every report since, yeah, they're both married and, there's
not to each other.
No conversation whatsoever about...
He's big on the superlatives, kind of going to
maybe
the
they love each other.
absurd end of things. So.
Plus, there are other people up there. It's not like they're marooned alone.
Because then that at least can be talked about. Then.
Well, I guess it might even cause a little more all right, there was nothing to do with two people, whatever.
Right.
This is it's an office. It just happens to be in orbit. There are other people up there. It stays a little bit weird here, too, with the president for a bit.
I see the woman with the wild hair, good solid head of hair she's got. There's no kidding. There's no games with her hair, but...
What? It's space, man. It floats around.
Your hair goes up. Yeah,
hey, there's no game there.
No game there. That's a good head of hair. So Sonny and Butch, I remember when it was like an extra week.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, imagine.
Boy, whole extra week.
Imagine that visitor at your house staying for an extra week.
Yeah, 9 months it's been. The president speaking with urgency about getting them back.
And there's a danger up there, too. They can have some failures up there that would be very bad. You got to get them out.
Got to get them out. Now, I don't know if NASA appreciated that last part either. There's, outside of the danger of you're in space,
right,
which is every moment you're there. We were talking about this yesterday. I keep thinking about the line from... what was that movie, The Martian, right? Where he says, yeah, I'm living in an environment where every second, every moment I'm here, the environment around me is trying to kill me.
Right, yeah, because that's space.
That people aren't supposed to be there, right? So outside of that, though, the International Space Station has been up there for a minute.
You know what?
And people are always on it.
We have discussed some of the most amazing human achievements of all time. Where does the space station fall? I mean, that is a pretty incredible piece of machinery. Humans live on this thing that floats around the Earth in space 365 days a year.
Yeah, I wonder how back, I guess we could search pretty quickly, just how far back has that been occupied
Decades,
for
right?
a continuous amount of time, right? The late 70s was Skylab. That was the first idea of keeping people up there for a long time.
That's incredible.
Joint mission. And then it was like, no, we should have a permanent presence in space. We will always have humans not on this planet. So yes,
and apparently
there are
you
inherent
can stay
dangers.
there.
Right? There are inherent dangers, but exactly to the point. And I think somewhere in the middle is actually what's accurate because NASA has downplayed this, right? Like, no, they can stay up there. Well, yeah, they can, but this was an epic fail. You send people up for a week-long mission, and 9 months later, they're still not home. So we really ought to own that. Like, this wasn't supposed to be how it's playing out, albeit, yes, they can survive. So next week, they are due back.
Because they need to re-prep the machine to bring them home.
On board the new people. Here's where the bathroom is. Here's where all this stuff is. Here's where you put here's your little cubby. But then they'll get them back on the Earth. 7:48 local time, 6:48 Central is the liftoff tonight, and so far things appear to be a go.
Maybe they'll love each other. I don't know.
News about your money this morning, WTMJ. Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average, of course, another tough day, down more than 1%, off 478 points to 41,433. The NASDAQ was down just 32 at 17,436. S&P 500 finished the day Tuesday at 5572. That was down an additional 42 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Your European experts at Fox World Travel are ramping up and busy as ever. With the trending spring and summer European travel season, Fox European experts mean you can maximize your time soaking up the warm weather, blooming flowers, and vibrant landscapes without worrying about your travel or missing a moment. Port hop along the Mediterranean with Viking or Princess, or design your own bucket list adventure with Insight Vacations. Visit us online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Your European immersion awaits.
Tired of staring at the same old garage door? Vince Vitrano here. Lifetime Door Company wants to give you a new one for free. Your chance to win by texting GARAGE to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. All you need to do is take a picture of your garage door or get creative. Tell us a story. Register to win and you can pick the door of your dreams. Valued at up to $8,000, text GARAGE to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. For contest rules, visit our website, WTMJ.com.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
It's 6 o'clock, 6:30. I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. We'll check the markets as the opening bell is just 2 hours away.
I'm Erik Bilstad. It's almost time to get real.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We are still in the clear around the whole area. No major delays and no incidents. So we are looking pretty good. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
53 degrees, your inland high 44 at the lake under mostly sunny skies. Tonight, skies remain mostly clear and a low down to 32. On our way to near 60 tomorrow. Right now, 35 degrees in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. More job cuts in Washington, this time at the Department of Education. 1,300 positions to be eliminated. Steel and aluminum tariffs going into effect today. As for the overall U.S. economy, President Trump says he's not worried. Here's ABC's Nicole D'Antonio.
Trump vowed to make the economy better on day one, but now he says the U.S. is in transition.
Do you think there will be a recession? I don't see it at all. I think this country is going to boom. But as I said, I can do it the easy way or the hard way. The hard way to do it is exactly what I'm doing, but the results are going to be 20 times greater.
Wall Street gets a new report on inflation today, which could ease concerns or raise more concerns about where the economy is headed.
This morning, Dow futures are up around 220 points. There was a shooting outside the normally crowded Terminal 2 at O'Hare Airport in Chicago overnight. One person's hospitalized and one is being questioned. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, fear of tariffs have caused the U.S. economy to slump over the last several days. Wall Street panics, and Annex Wealth Management CEO Dave Spano telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News the loss of value in the markets due to companies bracing for tariffs to set in.
All of this tariffs mean people are buying products. That reduces the GDP, and that's exactly what happened.
Now, Spano says if the U.S. sees the quarters of back-to-back negative GDP due to these tariffs, a recession could very well be on the horizon.
The Wisconsin Elections Commission could take further action today regarding nearly 200 uncounted ballots in the city of Madison. This happened during the 2024 general election in November. The commission last Friday voted to force the Madison city workers to sit for depositions, likely including city clerk Maribeth Witzel-Bell. Last week, WEC Chair Ann Jacobs called several of the decisions made by the city's clerk's office nonsensical.
The idea that you should print out your poll books 2 weeks before the election in the city of Madison, where you have a population of students who notoriously vote the weekend before, that is a nonsensical decision.
The commission hasn't made a decision yet on whether Witzel-Bell acted illegally or improperly.
A Waukesha teenager who is a person of interest in the deaths of his stepfather and mother arrested in Kansas, is now booked into the Waukesha County Jail. He's 17 years old, Nikita Kasip, right now charged with stealing his stepfather, Donald Mayer's car and a handgun. But no charges have been filed related to the deaths of Mayer nor Kasip's mother, Tatiana. Both were found dead earlier this month in their Waukesha home.
Clock is ticking to get a real ID. This is the federally compliant license for people who are traveling through U.S. airports or visiting federal buildings. Federal Security Director for TSA Wisconsin, Mark Lenve.
Beginning May 7th, transportation security officers with the TSA at our nation's airports will start enforcing the real ID requirements at our ticket document checker positions. Individuals without a real ID would be delayed in going through our TSA screening process, and that delay could be anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes trying to get through TSA security checkpoints.
You may have a real ID and not even realize it already. It would have a little star on it. They've been implementing these for anyone getting a new license over the last several years. And you can find that star in the top right-hand corner of your license.
A push for Medicare to cover prescription drugs for weight loss. Emergency physician for Columbia St. Mary's Hospital, Dr. Christopher Ford, telling Spanning the State Medicare should cover medications that treat obesity. It could save billions of dollars.
We're seeing savings of about 175 up to $200 billion, a 10-year span for patients that could potentially benefit from these medications, right? And so that's a reduction in heart attacks. That's a reduction in strokes, right? Liver failure, things of that nature. And so, this is low-hanging fruit and it, as I will say, it has bipartisan support in a lot of places too.
Some of these weight loss medications are not currently covered by Medicare.
Bucks legend and franchise minority owner Junior Bridgman has died. This news broke on Tuesday. Bridgman doing a local interview with the Louisville-based station WLKY at a fundraiser in Louisville when he suddenly told a reporter that he thought he was having a heart attack. Emergency crews were able to get to Bridgman and take him to a hospital. And Bridgman played 10 seasons for the Bucks before retiring and becoming a minority owner of the team, and just having an amazing, successful career post-basketball. He was just 71 years old.
Traffic is sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Coming up, you can't always just have a burial at sea.
Get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month at PellaWI.com.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
For Jenna, helping others find joy is so rewarding. It's why we love to do what we do.
I enjoy simplifying the process for the customer, taking the time to listen, and finding the right solution.
Randy understands that everyone's situation is different, so we don't just slap together cookie-cutter solutions.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
Jake arrives at your free in-home consultation with pre-prepared materials to fully envision your dream Pella build.
We're with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Whether you're working with Ryan or another Pella consultant, we don't go away after the sale. We're ready with anything you may need before, during, and after installation. And right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit frederick.com/cancer.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
Bucks coach Doc Rivers says you absolutely cannot lose a game this way. We got sports at 6:45.
Off the coast of Massachusetts, fishermen inadvertently captured a body in their nets last week, about 40 miles off the coast. So they were fishing their nets. They pulled something up, and it was the remains of a woman. And at the time of the discovery, the body was found clothed and wrapped in a state of decomposition. So call the police. Everyone's investigating what happened, who's missing, all that, right? Well, it turns out they believe it was a burial at sea. The Suffolk DA's office telling USA Today that the woman's death last week is not considered suspicious and that no foul play is suspected. They believe the woman was around 60 years old. The body had been embalmed and appeared consistent with a burial at sea. They think someone dumped the body off.
Oops.
So, yeah, and they accidentally caught it in a net.
So the moral of the story today is you can't just do that.
I mean, they don't suggest that there's any foul play or anything that's confusing.
This is what Grandma wanted?
And then you embalm the body and then just throw it in the water?
So you're the fishermen and going...
Yeah. Can you
drop
even
it
do
back
that?
off the ship?
Blow. Hey,
What if somebody wanted to, Lake Michigan? I was a sailor. I love the Great Lakes.
You can't just
do that, right?
No, the ocean is a different animal.
I don't know. Very large body of water.
I mean, what are the odds you catch it?
I don't know. I still think you got to go through some sort of channels, right?
You would think so.
I think maybe they didn't. Did they not weight it? I mean, I don't think the nets are
they could have talked to
I
about
don't think
that.
the nets are scraping the bottom of the.
That's a good
You know what I
point.
mean? So it's like it was floating in there.
I've seen a lot of mob movies. We'll give you some tips on how to do this.
But those who do recovery efforts will tell you, though, is that, and I don't mean to sound morbid, but bodies will lift back up to the surface.
So what
But in
is
this
the
case, if it
resolution
were
here? They
embalmed-
must have found the family, and they're like, "Oh yeah,
well,
that's what."
they're not going to
we
identify,
Okay.
or at least they're not going to release the identity if they have it, and they're going to move on. They consider the matter closed.
Asked and answered. Yes, that's what Grandma always wanted.
Yeah.
6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Comfort Awnings and Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Our front closet definitely coming together. In fact, it's no longer even a closet. Vince Vitrano here for Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Been talking about our project. My wife and I, we wanted a more functional and more attractive space where our old Brady Bunch style looking closet was. My friends Katie and Dan from Inspired Closets helped us design a new space that's getting rid of the closet door entirely. It opens up the front hall, providing even more storage, and now is a feature in the home, not a detraction. And this is why you work with this local team. I wouldn't have come up with this on our own. They had all these ideas, Katie and Dan did. They responded to us. They worked with us to cut the clutter and calm the chaos. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Home practice is about to begin. Your daughter's new tap shoes? Loud. Your son's new tuba? Louder. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft Greystone. So if you lose track of expenses buying some noise-canceling and sanity-saving headphones, we've got your back. You got this with $50 overdraft Greystone from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes working at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Tracy.
One of the things that enticed me about Three Pillars and wanting to work there was their stellar reputation and just being top rated. I got this job. I told people, I told family and friends and people I knew, and every single one of them was like, oh my gosh, you're going to love that place.
Find a rewarding career at threepillars.org.
Connect with Best Electric for panel upgrades, electrical vehicle charging installation, and residential electric service calls. Visit bestelect.com today.
642 traffic sponsored by the residential and commercial electrical experts at Best Electric. It's bestelect.com, Debbie.
All right. It's a nice, still a nice quiet ride around the area. I'm not really seeing any delays or any incidents either, so everything is rolling along just fine. No major complaints at all. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine for today. Cooler lakeside with a breeze out of the east stuck in the mid-40s. Inland spots will climb towards the lower 50s. Tonight, mostly clear. Low temperatures down near freezing. More sunshine for Thursday. High temperatures warming near 50 by the lake. Upper 50s and close to 60 inland. Friday, partly cloudy, breezy, and warm. High temperatures in the lower 60s by the lake. Close to 70 inland. Look for storms to arrive Friday night into Saturday morning. Mostly cloudy skies for Saturday with high temperatures in the 50s with breezy winds and a few showers. Sunday, mostly cloudy, breezy, cooler with a chance for a few flurries as highs fall into the upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
35 degrees in Milwaukee.
I don't know if this is necessary, but it's taking place today, later this morning. You know how we like to pay attention on what's going to be in the news, right? We want to tell you ahead of time.
Just tell me
what's going to be in the news.
Happening today.
And this is certainly happening today. Oh.
St. Patrick's Day is Monday.
Yes. Well, Molson Coors is going to host its news event in the Miller Valley ahead of the Miller Lite 2025 St. Patrick's Day Free Rides program. They've been doing this forever, right?
Okay.
Miller Free Rides on St. Patrick's Day.
Miller Free Rides on St. Patrick's Day. Miller Free Rides on St. Patrick's Day. I can't believe you couldn't find that.
I was searching everywhere for it.
How is that not somewhere on the YouTubes, on
It's got to be in one of our archives because we played the heck out of that commercial back in the day.
You could tell me the last time that commercial actually aired, like on purpose, was like 1982, and I would believe you. I don't know if that's what it was.
No,
but
it had to have been more recent than that. But anyway, so news conference today. So they've been doing this, according to Molson. Miller Lite Free Rides program began in 1988. Has offered public transit to residents for almost 4 decades, underscoring Molson Coors' commitment to promoting responsible celebrations. Since its inception, more than 9 million rides have been provided nationwide.
That's a good thing. So what's the news conference, though?
So I'm not sure why they're having it. They're hosting a news conference to say that they're doing this again.
Which, as you just indicated, has been the case for 3 decades.
So they're starting
So what's
Saturday.
the news conference?
Well, we did wonder, are they actually doing this on Monday? And from what I can gather, they are. There's a line here at the bottom of the news conference that says, in addition to Milwaukee, Molson Coors will offer free rides on March 17th to all those enjoying St. Patrick's Day festivities in the Twin Cities. So in addition to Milwaukee, in the Twin Cities on March 17th.
Miller Free Rides on St. Patrick's Day or somewhere around the St. Patrick's Day. Maybe on Saturday, maybe on Sunday.
Well, let me know how
when you're going to get home.
Get to that news conference. Let me know what you learned.
6:45 sports up next.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam members employ more than 7,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 14th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil promotion. To date, Adam has donated over $875,000, which provided over 2.6 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. We've told you about how you can get a new roof, and you can get it quickly and easily going through Tri-County Contracting. And they do it in a way where you don't have a dumpster sitting on your driveway there for days. Maybe it's one day and done. That's usually how it takes. So like your neighbor, they've got that dumpster sitting out there for a week and a half. Not at Tri-County Contracting. Plus, they got the lifetime warranty, so you get free enrollment in their every year inspection program. So you get a new roof. The next year, they're on that roof just checking it, making sure it's good. You get maintenance every year for a decade from Tri-County Contracting. Here's the website, TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows, TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Bucks play again tomorrow night. Great game against the Pacers in Indiana Tuesday.
Gary Trent, deep corner three, and he splashes it through. The Bucks have vaulted back ahead by 2.
It's Dave Kane on the call right here on WTMJ. A back-and-forth fourth quarter. Bucks up by 3. Final seconds for Indiana to throw up a prayer.
Oliver not balanced the 3. He hits it with a foul. You have got to be kidding me.
Not kidding you, Dave. Giannis called for a foul. Halliburton hits the free throw. Ball game. Bucks lose by a point. Head coach Doc Rivers.
It's an awful loss for us. It really is. And, we got a day to get our senses back. But these are games, you win one during the year two, but these are games that just really haunt you.
115 to 114, Indiana over Milwaukee. Bucks head home to face the Lakers tomorrow night at Fiserv Forum.
Heartbreaker on and off the court for the Bucks. Sad news across the NBA when news broke on Tuesday that Bucks legend Junior Bridgman had passed away, just 71 years old. Before the game, the coach Doc Rivers emotional talking about Bridgman.
Here's a guy that I think the most he made was $300,000 in his career, and he's an owner. So think about that kid growing up, wanting to be an NBA player was probably his dream, and he turned that dream into being an NBA owner. And if that's not what every kid should aspire to do,
A gentleman's gentleman, Junior Bridgman, just 71. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says at best, the spring of Vinny continues. Vince Vitrano in the news.
Yes, having a great season.
Vinny Capra batting .323 with 5 home runs in Arizona. He went deep again Tuesday against the Cubs. So did Rhys Hoskins. As the Crew win 9-7. No game today. They play the White Sox tomorrow. By the way, Jackson Churio celebrated his 21st birthday on Tuesday. Pat Murphy says, yeah, it was fine. We had a cake for him and all that, but time to move on.
Is this the last birthday that you're allowed to celebrate, though?
No, I don't even think so. I think past 10, we don't allow those in this house. I'm thinking about shutting birthdays down after 10.
After 10, no more birthdays.
Listen, you clowns.
Again, no game today. They play the White Sox tomorrow.
6:49 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Don't count us out. Not
Lillard
yet.
scoops to the hoop, lays it in. The Bucks have taken a 1-point. Lopez in transition, squeezes up a 3, and he drilled it. The Bucks throwing fire.
This season is far from over.
To work with drives inside and stuffs it down with the right hand. 59 points now for Giannis. He's tapping his chest as he goes the other way, saying, "This is my house.
We are the home of the Bucks.
This is my house."
WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano for Annex Wealth Management 2025. Boy, plenty of reasons to have a steady guide for investment and retirement planning, wouldn't you think? Between this trade war, the threat of new inflation, increasing global tension, and daily question marks about our economy, putting a pro on your side is exactly what you need. The good news here, Annex is ready to jump right in and go to work. They know what's happening out there. What Annex does is work with what you've got, and not to worry, they've seen it all. Dave Spano calls it a mishmash of investments, right? If that describes you. The Annex financial planning team will review and analyze what you have, come back with a framework for a financial plan using fiduciary principles. What that really means is they're not going to recommend a whole bunch of commissioned products. Financial planning at every level is Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. They meet you where you're at. Visit AnnexWealth.com. You click the Get Started button. Locations in Brookfield, Mequon, Lake Country, Appleton, downtown at the Pfister, Madison, Naples, Florida, if you need it, Libertyville, Illinois. You can do a conference on video over Zoom. That's Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button.
During the transfiguration of Jesus, Peter said that they should set up 3 tents on the mountain. Peter wanted to stay in that moment. This is Archbishop Jeffrey Grob. We also can get stuck focusing on the wrong things we don't want to change. During this Jubilee year, the Holy Father has asked us to be signs of hope for others. With hope, we see that we can change. As we begin this Lent, let us each use our gifts and talents to show the world that change and hope are possible in Jesus. Please join us at Mass.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in with Debbie here at 6:51.
All right, we had somebody call in to let us know there's an issue on US 45 in West Bend, just south of Paradise Drive. There is apparently a semi in the ditch. So it is a parking lot southbound on 45 heading past that scene. So keep that in mind. Pleasant Valley Road, from that point south, you should be fine. So if you wanted to take Main Street and get to Pleasant Valley to get onto the freeway, that would work as an alternate route. Rest of the system's looking pretty good right now. We got full freeway speeds and no other issues. Well, westbound 94. Now that I'm looking at it, it's a little slow. 35th Street into the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Mostly sunny skies today, high 53 degrees. It'll be almost 10 degrees cooler for the high if you're lakeside. Mostly clear overnight, low down to 32. And Thursday looks real nice, mostly sunny, high of 59 degrees, 50 at the lake. Right now, 35 in Milwaukee. We told you, coming up this weekend actually is the official start date for the new superintendent of Milwaukee Public Schools. TMJ4's Megan Lee was talking with Brenda Caselius about that start date.
When you applied for this position, did you think you were going to, start March 15th and have the boots on the ground already?
I did not. No, but I'm willing and able, ready to roll up my sleeves and get started with the board and the whole community.
All right, so the sleeves will be rolled up Monday morning when the office is open. Ken Harris from 101.7 The Truth, former Milwaukee Police Lieutenant, joins us in studio. Ken, what does she do first? What does she need to do first, in your opinion?
I'm just getting over the fact that I just witnessed the Penguin hire the Joker. Like,
can you expand on that?
Please provide more info.
Like the school board, Penguins hired the Joker. Oh, I didn't expect to start. Oh, yeah. Sounds like you're really prepared. Yeah, and this is the woman that you hired to run a school district that she's never run a school district remotely close to this size. At best, she was the superintendent of a middle school district. That was it. Like, what? Yeah, it's a downward spiral.
So you're not hot on the hire.
I'm not hot on the hire at all.
But she's here now. She's hired.
Unfortunately, with more money, more time, more everything. And watch this. Who in their right mind hires somebody at more money than they hired the prior person with no built-in bonus, no built-in numbers where you say, hey, if you reach this, just something reasonable. Give me a 1% increase. Just one. And then boom.
Some target incentives,
nothing.
Right? Yes, you can achieve X if you deliver these results.
She's getting paid almost $500,000 with benefits. That's her salary. And I'm not mad. That's what the market will bear. If you can get paid it, hey, God bless you. But I need to see something first. And she's like, yeah.
So what does she have to do to impress you now?
Nothing. I don't think there's anything she can do to impress
You're unimpressible.
Well, it's not that I'm unimpressible, but your interview didn't do anything. Your interviews with media didn't do anything. And when we talk to you, you talk about kids talking to you about lunches. Like bad lunch. Like where in school history has lunch ever been good? Like ever. And then all of a sudden you're going to come in and change it because the children want better food. I'm like, no.
Right.
No.
Where do you want to begin discussing the problems at Milwaukee Public Schools? But as long as children are getting fed, right, let's put that on.
Let's put that on.
Right.
Finances, number one. You got to pay back the money that was owed to the state. Right? Because you've got this churn where Evers keeps dumping money into a bad school that doesn't work. Who pays more for half the kids? When I got here, it was like 120,000 kids. It's now 61,000. But we pay way more money for 61,000 kids. You get buildings. Why would you have a plan that takes 10 years to sell a building? Like what idiot in their right mind in commercial real estate would take 10 years to sell a building? That means you got to pay heat, water, electric, upkeep, because you don't want to sell it to a choice school. Like, it's just idiotic. Hopefully she can fix that.
So if you are her, all right, Monday morning, and I guess she technically starts Saturday as her official start date.
Weird,
but you walk
right?
down there to Valete Street Monday morning. What do you do first?
Fire everybody and have everyone reapply for their jobs. Let's figure out what we need and what we don't need. Unfortunately, I know people hate it. I would do a Doge move at MPS. Make everybody reapply. First people I would get rid of are those regional superintendents. And now the superintendent talks directly to the principal. I mean, do your job. So we'll see.
So you go with immediate restructuring.
Yes.
Right? We're going to restructure this entire central office and all of this stuff and get rid of a lot of the overhead that we're paying or a lot of the salaries that we're paying to people who don't actually educate kids.
Right.
All right.
Because it's too much. You've got layers upon layers upon layers of people that do jobs and no one knows what they do.
Is it possible to be successful in that role?
Absolutely, yes. Thornton did it, Driver did it, Fuller did it, and those are the ones that got what? Run out. Right. Because the school union, the teachers union is the one entity along with the school board that needs to change.
6:58. Thanks, Dr. Ken.
You're welcome.
On Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A $189 million project could transform former Columbia Hospital buildings near UW-Milwaukee into a cutting-edge interdisciplinary health sciences hub. This is the largest planned investment in the Milwaukee area in Governor Tony Evers' proposed $4.1 billion capital budget. Kohl's capped off its fiscal year 2024 with a net sales drop of 9.4% in the fourth quarter. That brings total sales for the year to $15.4 billion, which is a 7.2% decrease compared to fiscal year 2023. Finally, a French bistro planned for the Third Ward could open as soon as October. The restaurant, called Cassis, would be the first business to open in the newly constructed 333 Water Building. I'm Drew Dawson from MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
We've all experienced that feeling of lacing up a brand new pair of shoes.
And for some reason, it always felt like new shoes made you run faster, jump higher, and of course, look better.
Yeah, it was almost magical.
A brand new set of tires on your car or truck will instantly give you that same magical feeling.
Courtney, I couldn't agree with you more. A new set of treads always makes your vehicle look better, but more importantly, allows you to stop faster and grip the road a whole lot better.
Which is necessary when the weather is bad and driving conditions are poor. You'll appreciate having the extra traction.
Remember, there isn't a tire brand on the planet we can't get.
Everything from Goodyear Continental and Kelly to Dunlop General and Pirelli. If we sell it, we install it.
Plus, every tire we sell automatically comes with free flat tire repair. So be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Rich Lawns. You're due for service.
Such a refreshing change. Rich Lawns.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
We have an exciting giveaway this week on Spanning the State.
One fan will win 2 front row tickets to see the Beach Boys coming to the Riverside Theater Friday, May 23rd.
Tune in to Spanning the State this Friday.
With timeless songs that shaped music history, they continue to inspire generations.
Experience the music, the magic, the good vibrations. The Beach Boys are still making waves.
Win 2 front row tickets to the Beach Boys coming to Riverside Theater May 23rd. Tune in to Spanning the State this Friday.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7:01. I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Wednesday, March 12th, our top story. The next wave of tariffs already begun.
I'm Erik Bilstad, back to court in Racine County.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We still have this issue in Washington County, right near West Bend, south of Paradise Drive on US 45. It is going to be a parking lot. Basically, we heard tell there was a semi that was rolled off into the ditch. So just be careful as you're heading through there. Beyond that, we've got northbound 43 slowing down from North Avenue all the way up past Burleigh. We got east and westbound 94 actually clearing out nicely right through the stadium interchange. So we're in good shape right now. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High of 44 degrees at the lake, 53 inland under mostly sunny skies. Mostly clear tonight, low down to 32. And we're just a few degrees above that at 35 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Trump's 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum take effect today. This after another chaotic day of escalations and retreats Tuesday. left markets reeling, Americans feeling the uncertainty. ABC News Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce.
Overnight, the next wave of Trump's tariffs taking effect, 25% on all steel and aluminum imports. It comes after a roller coaster day of threats and retreats, Trump vowing to double that 25% tariff to 50% on steel and aluminum imports from Canada, after Ontario said it would start taxing electricity coming into the U.S. But the two countries then walking back those threats for now. But economists warn that American businesses will pay for those tariffs and pass costs along to consumers by raising prices.
European Union announcing that it will put up to $28 billion of tariffs on U.S. goods.
Stock markets have been spiraling this week because of all the tariff talk. Right now, futures are up at the moment. One market expert says the tumble isn't going to last forever.
With U.S. GDP value taking a nosedive, Wall Street is panicking about the possibility of more tariffs being imposed. Annex Wealth Management CEO Dave Spano says the market performance is nothing to get worried about.
All of this tariffs mean people are buying products. That reduces the GDP, and that's exactly what happened.
Spano says these fluctuations tend to impact the economy in the short run.
If we have two back-to-back quarters of negative GDP, well, then we're gonna have a slowdown, and that's why the market is reacting to that.
Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin Elections Commission could take further action today regarding nearly 200 uncounted ballots in the city of Madison in the 2024 November election.
The body has already voted to require Madison City workers to sit for depositions regarding the uncounted ballots. That list will likely include City Clerk Marybeth Witzel-Bell. While it hasn't been determined that Witzel-Bell acted illegally by not notifying the commission of the uncounted ballots until December, Commission Chair Ann Jacobs not holding much back last Friday.
I am genuinely troubled by the number of profoundly bad decisions that are recited in these materials.
The commission meets this afternoon at 3. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A teenager from Waukesha County arrested in Kansas for theft of his stepfather's property has now been booked into the Waukesha County Jail. Nikita Kasip, 17 years old, currently charged with stealing his stepfather Donald Mayer's car and handgun. Now, no charges yet have been filed related to the deaths of Mayer or of Kasip's mother, Tatiana. Both were found dead earlier this month in their home in Waukesha.
15-year-old boy charged with killing his mother in her Franksville home is set to appear in court once again today. So investigators say Reed Galinsky may have been inspired by a Netflix documentary on the Menendez brothers, who, when he allegedly hit his mother with a dumbbell before repeatedly stabbing her. The court has set his bail at $1 million.
Coming up, the death of a Bucks legend.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
They did it again. Best of the best in the whole USA. Wisconsin's very own Siding Unlimited. Local and family-owned Siding Unlimited has won their 5th National Pella Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year award. Siding Unlimited has been installing Pella windows and doors for over 30 years and doing it the right way. Top-notch installation by their very own amazing craftsmen. Homeowners rave about their beautiful windows, easy to open and energy-efficient Pellas with an unmatched warranty, and about the excellence of Siding Unlimited's installation experience. Peace of mind, durability, function, daily job cleanup. You need great new windows installed the right way. You need Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and Chris are joined by Bucks head coach Doc Rivers. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Buy one pizza today, get a second pizza free at the Amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford and in Oshkosh. Don't cook, don't even think about it. You don't need to clean up either. Call, order, and pick up shortly, or just walk in for your free Thursday pizza, mineshaft.restaurant.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:07.
How do you lose the game on one shot, or a little more than one shot, 1.5 maybe, if you're up 3 with just seconds to go? Bucks found a way. We'll do it in sports at 7:15.
One of the most successful basketball players ever off the court, Junior Bridgman, Bucks legend, passes away. Bridgman was successful on the court as a Bucks for 10 years. Off the court, he was one of the richest retired athletes in professional sports. So Bridgman was on the Here District podcast discussing his success. Here's what he said.
It isn't about, well, they went on and made this amount of money or did these things. It's about, did they contribute to society? Were they an example for people to want to be like them? And did they live good lives? And I would say that, that's where we had tremendous success.
So Bridgman was in Louisville. He spends a lot of time in Louisville. He was there talking to a TV reporter when he said he wasn't feeling well, thought he might be having a heart attack. He would later die at the hospital. He was 71.
We know Green Bay is going to be busy for the upcoming draft next month. Appleton International Airport, the Fox Valley, is going to open 3 new gates ahead of the draft. The gates are part of a larger concourse project that, when finished, would be able to accommodate bigger planes. Outagamie County Executive Tom Nelson saying the expansion is vital.
That supports 3,000 jobs in our community and generates about $700 million worth of economic activity every year.
In 2024, Appleton International recorded 1 million travelers for the first time.
The measles flare-up in West Texas has now grown to more than 220 known infections, with nearly 30 being serious enough to require hospitalization. Now, that does not include cases that have been diagnosed in New Mexico or Oklahoma that are thought to be connected to that outbreak in West Texas.
This is Jim Ryan. The vaccine known to prevent measles is a hot commodity among healthcare providers in West Texas. In fact,
we're getting some reports from pharmacies that are saying they can't order any.
But Catherine Wells of the Lubbock Health Department insists that
we don't have a shortage here in West Texas.
Pharmacies are simply finding new suppliers of the suddenly popular shots. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:10.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
How's morning drive look here, Deb? I know we've got this incident on 41.
Yeah, no, it's actually on 45.
Oh,
US
okay,
45.
that's where you confused me. All right, I got you.
Yeah, it's after it splits. Just south of Paradise Drive. It's kind of a parking lot right through there. It's very, very slow between Paradise Drive and Rusco Road. You've got what was told to us was a semi in the ditch. So you want to be careful heading past that. If you need to get around this or want to avoid dealing with that, maybe take 18th Avenue or Main Street, head down to Pleasant Valley Road. You can get onto the freeway there and head south without much of a problem. As a matter of fact, it looks pretty good all the way down to the zoo after that. We've got northbound 43 slowing down just north of North Avenue all the way up towards Keefe. We had an earlier disabled vehicle on southbound 43 just past Silver Spring off on the right shoulder. And then we've also got a broken down vehicle northbound on 94 right about at College Avenue, also off on the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine for today. Cooler lakeside with a breeze out of the east stuck in the mid-40s. Inland spots will climb towards the lower 50s. Tonight, mostly clear. Low temperatures down near freezing. More sunshine for Thursday. High temperatures warming near 50 by the lake. Upper 50s and close to 60 inland. Friday, partly cloudy, breezy, and warm. High temperatures in the lower 60s by the lake. Close to 70 inland. Look for storms to arrive Friday night into Saturday morning. Mostly cloudy skies for Saturday with high temperatures in the 50s with breezy winds and a few showers. Sunday, mostly cloudy, breezy, cooler with the chance for a few flurries as highs fall into the upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
35 degrees in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
Coming up on 7:13, we could hear later today whether students and staff forced out of their school in Bayview due to unsafe levels of lead dust in the air, when they can head back to Trowbridge.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
A little bit more on that end of things in a moment. Also today on that front, a free clinic for MPS students who attended Golden Meyer, Coggle, Maryland Avenue Montessori, as well as Trowbridge. Now, only Trowbridge had such a dramatic response as to move the entire operation of the school downtown until further notice, while crews are still working to clean up and remediate the lead problem. So any students who attend the schools I mentioned can go for lead testing. It's one of these pinprick where they take I think on the finger, prick the finger, get a little bit of blood. They take that sample. And so you can tell the little ones, no big deal. This isn't going to hurt too much. And they'll get you rapid results that would indicate whether there's any further concern there. Today, 16th Street Parkway Clinic, which, oh, by the way, is not on 16th Street. Parkway Clinic is just north. It's in the neighborhood. It's about 20th in Oklahoma.
Okay.
But that clinic is from 3 to 5 p.m. today. The bigger event is coming up Saturday from 9 to 1. That's going to be at Bradley Tech High School. And last we heard from MPS and the health department, they said the earliest we could expect an update on Trowbridge would be midweek. Well, today is Wednesday, largely regarded as midweek. Now, they didn't promise one by today. They said they wouldn't have one until at earliest midweek. So perhaps we could hear from Milwaukee Health Department. I did reach out to them late Tuesday, just saying, do you know, not even do you know when it will be, but do you know when you'll be able to say? Do you know when you'll know? And I hadn't heard back at this point. So that one assumes is a process that is still ongoing at Trowbridge. So that clinic today, 3 to 5 today. Parkway Clinic just north of 20th and Oklahoma. 7:15, Wisconsin's Morning News.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Comfort Awnings and Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Have you seen them yet? If you have, you probably know what I'm talking about. The box elders, the Asian lady beetles. They're waking up. Vince Vitrano here for the Bug Man and Queen Bee, your best in local pest defense. The Bug Man, Adam over there, told me when we pop these warmer days like we've had, and we got some more coming, that's when people start seeing those guys, the stink bugs too, appearing on the windowsill, on the floor, on the sink. Got bad news for you. If that's happening, these bugs likely spent the winter inside your walls. Ugh. I got good news for you here. The Bugman offers the Season Invader service, which will flush them out, take care of the problem before they all wake up and fill your home this spring. Let's stop the problem before it starts with this local, family, veteran-owned and operated company based right here in West Dallas. 20% off your first visit when you tell them Vinny sent you to bugmanqueenbee.com.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
A double heartbreaker for the Bucks on Tuesday night, learning before the game the passing of a great player and a better man, Junior Bridgman, and then an improbable finish to a hard-fought game against the Pacers in Indiana. Bucks up 3 at this point, just 3 seconds left. Pacers have the ball.
Here comes the inbound pass. Nembhard gets it to Halliburton, off balance, the three. He hits it with a foul. You have got to be kidding me. Tyrese Halliburton heaves it up with 3 seconds on the clock and hits it with a foul. It is a stunned house, and a house that is in full revelry now.
Dave Kane right here on WTMJ. Giannis committed the foul. Halliburton hit the free throw. Pacers win 115-114. Head coach Doc Rivers.
He was open the whole play, and so there was miscommunication there. I always think that's on me and on my staff, not on our guys. And we'll have to figure it out because that's a play that should never happen.
Bucks host the Lakers, 6:30 tip tomorrow night.
Sad news across the NBA, a heartbreaker on the court and off. News broke of Bucks legend Junior Bridgman passing away. Just to give you an idea of what he meant to a lot of people, Shaquille O'Neal on TNT talked about how he looked up to Junior.
Here's a guy that I think the most he made was, 300?
Well, that's Doc Rivers. Here is Shaq speaking.
A lot of people don't know this, but I've patterned my whole business acumen after Junior Bridgman. They always tell us stories about how 75% of athletes 0 to 5 years after they're done playing go broke. And I never wanted to be that. So I always started looking at people, Michael, of course, Magic. But I remember one time the Forbes list came out and I was like, oh, I know I'm on this list, all the commercials I do. And I saw his name. I reached out to him and we started talking and, he had Wendy's, I started Big Chicken, Pepsi and Coke. So everything that he did, I tried to pattern after him. I just talked to him the other day because we were getting ready to do business. So my condolences goes out to his partner, Charles, to his family, his daughter, his son. But this one really hit hard for me because he was definitely somebody that I looked up to.
Bridgman just 71 years old. To Arizona now. We told you about this Tuesday. That's how it sounded in the clubhouse as the Brewers players celebrated Jackson Churio turning 21 years old.
Oh, feliz cumpleaños.
So they gave him a cake and kind of made him stand there. And Peralta and others are rubbing frosting on his face from the cake as he's standing there in the clubhouse just with it.
He's a child compared to these guys, so he just has to sit there and take
He's
it.
got to hold it. Yep. Pat Murphy later said that this about Churio having to hold that.
I mean, when Yelly presented him with his gift, I said, the only difference, think back 1 year, Jackson, you would have dropped it a year ago.
There it is. Man.
Come on, Skipper. Is Churio okay with that? He must be, right?
He's making fun
Skipper
of him
knows he
dropping
can
things.
take it.
So speaking of baseball, Blake Perkins out, of course, with his injury. So there was talk and has been talk of Churio playing center field. Sounds like mostly it's going to be Mitchell or Fralick in that spot to start anyway at center. The Brewers would beat the Cubs 9-7. Vinny Kepper went yard again. No game today. They play the White Sox tomorrow.
And the NFL's 2025 season officially begins today, 3 o'clock our time. So look for the Packers to announce then the signing of a couple of free agents we've been talking about. Offensive lineman Aaron Banks and cornerback Nate Hobbs. Nothing else popping up as potential free agent or trade deals at the moment.
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
So Sidney Moncrief, Bucks legend, joins us in studio. How did your NBA career prepare you for the boardrooms that you're in each and every day?
It doesn't.
Wow, all right.
I wanted to take the concept of entrepreneurship and put it with a different lens, the lens of literacy. We need to understand these principles of literacy.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. I have breaking news from Gina Della herself. Got a message from Gina, I don't know if it was late Sunday or early Monday morning, but she went to work with their banking partners to add a few more days to this incredible offer. You can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella Windows and Doors at 0% interest on your financing. Gina was legitimately excited about this. You need to tell these. She texted me, she texted Tauscher. Who else? Mercure. She's like, you got it. This is big news. We got almost a full week of the extension on the deal. You're getting the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. You know it's Pella who manufactures, sells, installs, and services all of these products. So a 10-year labor warranty, that's just part of the deal. Windows and doors are secure for years to come. Expert installers are available year-round. They can do most jobs in as little as a day. The Pella experience and this incredible deal, 0% interest on your financing for up to 6 years. This deal ends on 3/13, so tomorrow. Get started at PellaWI.com.
Hunters and soldiers use night vision optics that enable them to own the night. Jesus said he is the light of the world, and whoever follows him will never walk in darkness. However, he sometimes keeps that light out of the visible range. We don't see it, but it changes what we see. What does it mean to walk in that light of Christ? Hear Dr. Michael Ziegler's message, Light of the World, this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. For convenient car shopping and financing, visit Heiser Automotive Group at one of their 4 locations, Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Or visit Heiser.com because today's your day.
722, what's happening on the roads, Debbie?
Well, we got some delays eastbound 94 from about 84th Street all the way to 35th. Westbound's just tightening up through the stadium interchange. Northbound on 43, watch for delays around the North Avenue curve all the way up towards the KK River, right around Keefe. Southbound 43 is actually looking pretty good right now. We've got one broken down vehicle on the right shoulder just south of Silver Spring, but it's not really affecting your ride too much. Just keep an eye out for it. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast brought to you by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Sunny skies today, high 53 degrees. Almost 10 degrees cooler, though, if you're right along Lake Michigan. Low down to 32 tonight. Another good one Thursday, mostly sunny, high 50 at the lake, 59 inland. Even warmer on Friday. Friday's lakeside high 61, 70 away from Lake Michigan, with thunderstorms possible at night. Right now, 35 in Milwaukee.
Got a quick hodgepodge of national/international stories to get to. Where would you like to start? Is there one that you would prefer, Vince? You want to get
spin the wheel here?
I got tariffs. I can get Brian Noonan in here. We can spin the wheel a little bit.
Right. You got Ukraine this morning, some movement there. Let's do that first.
Okay. So, to Ukraine. That's right. President Trump says Ukraine has agreed to a U.S. proposal for a ceasefire that he expects to speak with Moscow to okay the deal. Like, that's the next plan, that the deal is done. Now let's get Moscow involved.
The Americans have switched back on their intelligence sharing and their military assistance, which is going to help Ukraine on the battlefield. And the minerals deal, that is something that they wanted to sign when President Zelensky was in D.C. Well, that might now be back on the table. So a lot for Ukraine to celebrate, but big question here. One ingredient missing from these talks, Russia.
Ah, right. Russia has to also agree to this. And another thing?
One thing that hasn't been mentioned at all is the territorial dispute. That goes to the very heart of this entire conflict.
That's right. There's the whole territorial dispute.
Well, but we talked yesterday about a step. Can you get to the step of a ceasefire before you get to solving the whole thing?
Okay.
And can that bring people to the table to ultimately create this framework for a lasting peace?
That's ABC's James Longman there. So the president also now implementing 25% tariffs again overnight. Next wave of Trump tariffs taking effect, 25% on all steel and aluminum imports. It comes after another roller coaster day of threats and retreats, and also some issues on Wall Street. Of course, now the president vowing to double that 25% tariff to 50% on steel and aluminum imports. But then he now has pulled back on that after Ontario pulled back on some of what it's doing. So maybe there's a little bit of jockeying taking place. Maybe this is working for the better. Meanwhile, more tariffs overseas.
The European Union announcing that they are putting up to $28 billion of tariffs on U.S. goods. It comes as the president is also promising to do another round of retaliatory tariffs early next month.
That's ABC's Mary Bruce there. So tariffs still the back and forth, but like I said earlier, the futures are up at the moment. And then there's Reagan International. Remember this story? Of course you do. what happened there at Reagan earlier this year when we had a commercial jet hit a Black Hawk helicopter. The FAA will be making long-term changes now to helicopter routes along the Potomac River following that midair collision. So 2 hours after the NTSB called on the FAA to make urgent changes to helicopter routes, they said, okay, we'll do it. Here's Sean Duffy.
We're threading a needle allowing helicopters to fly down the same airspace as landing aircraft.
Yeah, so they are going to make some changes to where those helicopters go now at Reagan to avoid potential issues in the future.
Didn't we say that on day one? The idea that this is standard operating procedure to have training missions or whatever was going on the Potomac from the U.S. military happening while this runway into Reagan is active and you have commercial flight.
Right.
Find another spot to do your thing. Isn't that just basic common sense?
Yes.
So that didn't take long. Yeah, NTSB says, we shouldn't be doing this. And FAA says, okay, fine. Transportation Department, okay.
Still take weeks, months to learn officially what happened at Reagan.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was down more than 1% once again in trading on Tuesday. Closed at 41,433. The NASDAQ at 17,436. So that was down only about 32 points. S&P 500 down 42, about 0.75% to 55.72. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. It's sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us once again today, Jeff Salasinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, we talked about the wildfires out in California, and while that is a terrible tragedy for those impacted, we've also learned some things from the consumer and the business end.
Thanks, Vince. Nice to be here today. Two critically important but easily addressed issues have surfaced. Many homeowners and business owners are heavily underinsured when it comes to the amount of insurance they carry on their homes or commercial buildings. Secondly, many people and businesses have big gaps in their coverage or simply don't understand what coverage they have.
So how's that important to folks listening right now?
Vince, these mistakes are easily avoidable when you work with the right insurance professional. And when these issues go unaddressed, they're incredibly expensive lessons to learn. Vince, like I've said before, a properly designed insurance program has never been more important, more relevant than it is today. If you're not getting good guidance or your insurance provider is uninformed on issues like this, you're jeopardizing your assets, your business, maybe your future.
So, Jeff, a lot of options out there for insurance. Why do you recommend folks work with R&R Insurance?
We have resources and benchmarks to ensure your coverage limits are accurate. We understand complex insurance coverages like business income and additional living expense for homeowners. We communicate in plain language to help you understand exactly what you've purchased. It'll cost you nothing to sit down and talk to us at R&R Insurance. It might cost you a lot to stay with who you have today. If you're looking for a better insurance buying experience, we'd love to speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff. 7:30, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Wednesday, March 12th, our top story, how tariffs could impact Wisconsin's healthcare industry.
I'm Erik Bilstad, assaulting an inmate.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, starting to build a little bit of volume now on eastbound 94, slowing down from Barker Road all the way past Brookfield Road. On eastbound, continuing delays from 92nd Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm Team forecast, mostly sunny, high of 53.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The latest job cuts to the federal government are coming from the Department of Education. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
Overnight, the Department of Education gutted. More than 1,300 workers told they're being laid off, now cutting the agency roughly in half. Education Secretary Linda McMahon saying those cuts are just the first step.
A snapshot on inflation has just come out this hour from the Commerce Department. It's a little bit lower than most people thought. Dow futures up 539 points. Because of that, those numbers will not reflect the tariffs, however, on aluminum and steel products, 25% that were implemented overnight. Investors haven't liked much of what they've seen so far in the stock market. The S&P, which is what most 401ks track, is down 5% overall for the year. Militants wearing vests loaded with explosives have barricaded themselves inside a train in remote southwest Pakistan, holding 250 hostages. Pakistani security forces were able to rescue some. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, tariffs affect pricing across industries, including the medical field. Cuts to Medicare could prevent people from seeking care that they need. President of Ascension Columbia St. Mary's Hospital, Andre Story, telling Wisconsin's Upswing that quality care is the number one priority compared to cost.
Medicaid is reimbursing Wisconsin hospitals about 37% less than cost. Our ultimate focus is going to be on the quality of care we provide. That's where we're going to hang our shingles, that the quality of care you're getting here is going to be top-notch, and we're going to make sure we adjust to make sure that every patient who comes to our doors gets that care.
Weight loss medications, some of the more popular ones, are not currently covered by Medicare.
A former Lincoln County correctional sergeant is charged with assaulting an inmate. Investigators say Jason Meister slammed the inmate's head into a window, then punched and kneed her multiple times. Surveillance footage captured that he attacked, leading to Meister's firing and the charges now. He faces up to 7 years behind bars.
Wisconsin Elections Commission could take further action today regarding nearly 200 uncounted ballots in the city of Madison for the November election. Commission on Friday voted to force Madison city workers to sit for depositions, likely including the city clerk, Maribeth Witzel-Bale. Last week, the WEC chair, Ann Jacobs, called several of the decisions made by the clerk's office, quote, nonsensical.
The idea that you should print out your poll books 2 weeks before the election in the city of Madison, where you have a population of students who notoriously vote the weekend before, that is a nonsensical decision.
The commission has not yet made a decision on whether Witzel-Bale acted illegally or improperly.
A Wisconsin high school athlete will be allowed to play softball after a temporary injunction against the WIAA.
The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty secured the injunction that will allow Macy Weigel to participate this spring. Weigel transferred from a tuition-based private school to Baraboo High School after her youngest sibling developed a blood disorder, which forced the family to make cost-saving decisions. The WIAA theorized the transfer was not caused by an extenuating circumstance, and an appeal of the ruling was immediately denied. The lawsuit challenged the WIAA's ability to exercise authority over public schools. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Appleton, did you know, International Airport, Eric, will open 3 new gates in anticipation of more travelers for the 2025 NFL Draft coming to Green Bay next month. So Appleton, about a half hour south of Green Bay, right? The new gates are part of a larger concourse project that, when finished, will accommodate larger planes. Outagamie County Executive Tom Nelson.
That supports 3,000 jobs in our community and generates about $700 million worth of economic activity every year.
2024, Appleton International recorded 1 million travelers for the first time.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:34.
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin, the buck stops here, the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Vita Hearing Care. They've made a difference in my life. They changed my life. I can hear better now, thanks to the incredible faux neck hearing aids that I have, and you can check these bad boys out, too. There's a very cool event coming up. It's a VIP lunch and listening event. It's free. It's March 19th at Mealy Cafe in Racine over the lunch hour. It's going to be very cool, but you need to reserve your spot. It's free. Call 262-800-1060, 262-800-1060. Let them change your life at Vita Hearing Care.
For their accounts payable workflow, Junior Achievement of Wisconsin implemented a document management and workflow automation solution from James Imaging Systems. Junior Achievement Vice President of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, highlights the positive impact.
That impact has made it much more streamlined for us to handle the entire process from receiving an invoice to having it paid.
How has streamlining your accounts payable workflow benefited Junior Achievement's mission?
It has allowed us to be more on mission and strategically reach out and expand our impact to be able to reach more students.
If others are looking for workflow automation solutions to better serve their clients or customers, what's your suggestion?
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
Cannot lose a game this way. Bucks highlights, or whatever you want to call them.
And yet it happened.
At 7:45. Power restored this morning to We Energy's customers on Milwaukee's east side. Plunged into darkness Tuesday night. Didn't seem to be a widespread outage. I don't have numbers, E, on how many it was affecting, but got to scratch your head on this one, right? Power outage.
Wasn't crazy winds.
Didn't have severe weather, right? Not even high winds or anything of that nature. What caused it? You've heard of this before. We Energy's confirming to WTMJ's Jessica Ty, who was working on her sources last night. The power outage was caused by a Mylar balloon coming into contact with an overhead power line. So those are the shiny balloons, right?
Yeah.
They have interesting sayings on them.
Happy
or whatever.
birthday balloons and stuff.
And they're shiny because they have this like metallic coating.
Yeah.
The metallic coating can conduct electricity. And so when you have one or, in some cases, many balloons released on purpose or accidentally, if one of these flies into a power line, it can cause two lines to, or connect the charge from both of those lines. And
that's
that
what it
causes the
was?
power to go out. And We Energies is telling us, yeah, that's what caused this outage on the east side of Milwaukee.
Do you remember being a kid and like there'd be like balloon releases for anything? Like we would all release them. Sometimes
Yeah.
you put a little postcard on
Did you do
there.
the note in elementary school? Let's see where it ends
Yeah,
up.
and then
Maybe
like
they'll write back.
one kid, Joanna, she'd get her postcard back.
They wrote back, right. And then it
we're all
occurs to you
littering.
later, right, that we're just littering into the air.
We could have just thrown those postcards into people's yards.
Chucked it out your car window. Just see what happens, right. And then on top of that, the issue with the Mylar balloons is, again, that metallic coating that can cause even bigger problems outside of the litter. Is from time to time we hear about this from We Energies. We Energies telling us nearly 8,000 customers lost power just last year due to outages caused by Mylar balloons. But it seems like the lights are back on this morning. News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
According to the Census Bureau, more than 12,000 Americans are turning 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. 65 is traditional retirement age because it matches up with Medicare, but Gallup found 61 is the average retirement age. Some Annex clients retire early, but we also have clients working at 70 because they love what they do. You know why? Because they've got plans built by fee-only fiduciaries, plans custom-tailored to their lifestyle. They identify their wants and needs, and we went to work building investment, retirement, tax, and estate plans in their best interest. Proper retirement planning doesn't start the week before you retire. Having a focused plan built by our in-house teams will go a long way in helping you reach the retirement you desire. It all starts with the conversation you probably already have in the back of your mind. It's time to put that into action and contact Annex. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Just met another chiropractic patient who quit going to the chiropractor because he didn't like the twisting, cracking, and popping. Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic, where I told my buddy, I've got exactly the place for you, actually. The docs at Connect Chiro use a special tool. It's called the Integrator, and it allows them to focus on precise points right along your spine. It delivers targeted results. It's pain-free, stress-free, without the whipping your neck around. Exactly what my friend and his wife, as it turns out, were looking for. And I had him talking to Kimberly over there at Connect Cairo, just some of the other good folks there that day. Find out for yourself. Visit them in Delafield and Wauwatosa, coming soon to Oak Creek, or get started now at Go Connect Cairo. That's goconnectcairo.com.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Debbie, how's the morning drive here?
Well, we still have some delays from Highway F all the way through past Barker Road to Brookfield Road. Back on the brakes from just before 84th Street to 35th. Westbound's backed up out of the Marquette on 94 all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43, you're starting to slow down before Capitol Drive all the way down to Keefe and then back on the brakes right through the Marquette. Northbound is slowing down out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine for today. Cooler lakeside with a breeze out of the east stuck in the mid-40s. Inland spots will climb towards the lower 50s. Tonight, mostly clear. Low temperatures down near freezing. More sunshine for Thursday. High temperatures warming near 50 by the lake. Upper 50s and close to 60 inland. Friday, partly cloudy, breezy, and warm. High temperatures in the lower 60s by the lake. Close to 70 inland. Look for storms to arrive Friday night into Saturday morning. Mostly cloudy skies for Saturday with high temperatures in the 50s with breezy winds and a few showers. Sunday, mostly cloudy, breezy, cooler with the chance for a few flurries as highs fall into the upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 34 degrees.
No real answers as the search continues for this missing spring breaker in the Dominican Republic. Sudiksha Kanaki is from the University of Pittsburgh. She vanished during a spring break trip to the DR. They think maybe she got caught up in a big wave. That's the term being used, big wave. They talked to some people who were with her. They talked to a guy who was with her. He's seen coming back from the beach without her. And there are lots of questions.
Exactly how many FBI agents and what their role is not public. But the spokesperson I spoke with said the FBI's involvement is the reason that they decided to re-interview all of the people who were last seen with her.
So here is where this is at. That was Manuel Bajorquez who's down there. So she's seen leaving on surveillance video with a group of people. And then they all came back, and they're seen on video coming back. And this is middle of the night, like 4 a.m., something like that. And then dude, who she was with, they said, is seen coming back at 9 a.m. He says that they were swimming, got hit by a big wave, got separated. He passed out on the beach, woke up, and then wandered home. They found her clothes on the beach. They have not found her. So it's potentially a drowning, but now the FBI is getting involved. They want to make sure there isn't something nefarious going on here.
So it's entirely plausible that it is exactly what he said. Look, I don't actually even, like, you met someone new.
Right.
A bunch of us were hanging out. I don't know, like, who's in charge of making sure everyone's okay? You just ran into some people. Everybody was swimming. I don't know.
And you've been drinking, you're clubbing and all that stuff.
You may not even be aware of, like, who all came back. Is everybody okay? Plus, right, as you indicated, alcohol involved. It could be, It could be as simple and as tragic as that. Or it might not be. And what jurisdictions does the FBI even have down there, right? And what do they get to do?
Right.
Do they have the power to question anyone necessarily?
And talk to everyone involved with this? They must. At least the Americans they're going after.
7:44, sports up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Brian Noonan. I've only been on this weight loss journey for 3 weeks. I've already lost 23 pounds thanks to the amazing team at Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've been eating healthier, drinking more water, and I feel a lot more energized. There's no better way to start the new year.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Bucks will play again tomorrow night. Great game against the Pacers in Indiana Tuesday.
Gary Trent, deep corner three, and he splashes it through. The Bucks have vaulted back ahead by 2.
Man, a really even up back and forth fourth quarter. Dave Kane on the call here on WTMJ. So the Bucks are up by 3. Going to win this one. Up by 3, just seconds left for Indiana to throw up a prayer.
Oliver not balanced the 3. He hits it with a foul. You have got to be kidding me.
I'm not kidding you. Giannis called for the foul, so Halliburton then steps to the line, hits the free throw. Ball game. Bucks lose by a point. Head coach Doc Rivers.
It's an awful loss for us. It really is. And, we got a day to get our senses back. But these are games, you win one during the year 2, but these are games that just really haunt you.
115-114, Indiana over Milwaukee. Bucks head home to face the Lakers tomorrow night at Fiserv Forum.
Heartbreaker off the court, too. A dark day for the Bucks, said Coach Doc Rivers, after news broke that Junior Bridgman had passed away, 71 years old. Bridgman, just a Bucks legend, both on and off the court. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says it best, the spring of Vinny continues. Vinny Capra.
That's very kind of him. Oh,
Capra,
I'm sorry. I'm having a good 25.
You're right. So
things
far,
are going
so
well.
good. Right. There's a big picture of you above the fold.
Vinny's having a great year. Yeah.
Vinny Capra is batting .323 in the spring. He's got 5 home runs. He went deep again Tuesday against the Cubs. So did Rhys Hoskins as the Crew win 9-7. So no game today. They play the White Sox tomorrow. They also celebrated. Yes, they celebrated in the clubhouse for Jackson Churio, who turned 21 on Tuesday. So this might be it for birthdays, says Pat Murphy. You can hear Dom Catronio, who's down there, our guy, asking him about, the 21st. That's a big one.
Is this the last birthday that you're allowed to celebrate, though?
No, I don't even think so. I think past 10, we don't allow those in this house. I'm thinking about shutting birthdays down after 10.
Well, anyway.
How about Murph's house? I mean, his boys are young yet, right?
He's got a couple of little ones.
I think with the little ones, he's a softie. He's not cutting off any birthdays at 10 o'clock in his house. NFL's 2025 season, I want to mention, officially begins today, 3 o'clock our time. So we'll look for the Packers to announce then the signing of any free agents. We have reported offensive lineman Aaron Banks and cornerback Nate Hobbs appear to have agreed to terms, but he couldn't make it official. So that expected after 3 o'clock today. 748, Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
Oh, my God.
The Soties.
Thanks for the pretzel, Coach.
Oh, man, take a look at my life.
No Corona!
All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Fingers come in different sizes,
It's one of the first things you learn as a jeweler,
and a ring can only be sized up or down a little bit.
which means it's a really good thing to know your ring size.
And it's an even better thing to know their ring size.
This is why we're announcing
The Ring Size Registry at Kessler's.
we're doing it as a public service. It's completely free.
Free. Isn't that a great price?
Here's how it works.
Just drop into any Kessler's Diamonds location and tell one of the owners that you'd like to know your ring size.
Kessler's is an employee-owned company, so whoever greets you at the door is an owner.
They'll determine your ring sizes and add them to our Ring Size Registry.
Then, when someone wants to know your ring size,
Because, maybe they want to surprise you.
all they have to do is call or stop into Kessler's.
Surprises can be fun, don't you think?
We're happy to do this for you, even if you don't buy a ring from us.
But after you take a look around, we think you probably will. Visit KesslersDiamonds.com for a location near you and register your ring sizes today.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for QC Kinetics. People are always asking about QC Kinetics and their treatments there. They want to know if it's something that they should consider for their joint pain, whether it's their knees, or their shoulders, their hips, their back, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, the first question is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees or your hips, et cetera, et cetera? If the answer is yes, okay, then keep listening. Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all the pain? If the answer is yes, okay, well, here you go. And most importantly, do you miss the things that you used to do? all that stuff outside, the swimming, the fishing, the golfing, the tennis, the walking the dog, playing with the kids. If you're missing those, then yes, you need to consider QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation. Sit down and figure out if it's going to work for you. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
At 7:51, how the roads look, Debbie?
Well, we're still seeing delays southbound 43 from just before Capitol Drive all the way down towards Locust. Northbound has got backups basically over the high-rise bridge through the Marquette up to Keefe. Westbound 94 got backups from 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. More delays from just west of the Zoo interchange to the county line. Eastbound 94, a couple pockets of heavy traffic. One from about Highway 16 to Highway F, and then again right past Barker Road, and then 84th Street all the way to about 27th. Got some backups on the bypass as well. Eastbound 94 slowing down out of the Hale interchange all the way past Loomis. Westbound's backed up out of the Mitchell interchange all the way towards 60th Street as well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. High of 44 at the lake, 53 away from Lake Michigan under mostly sunny skies. Low down to 32 tonight. Another nice one on Thursday, mostly sunny. High 59 degrees, about 10 degrees cooler if you're by the lake. Partly cloudy, windy with thunderstorms at night on Friday with a high of 61 lakeside, 70 inland. Right now at 36 degrees in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
They are going to make moves.
Innovator.
Don't be shocked if it's, and this is where it gets real sexy, if it's an interior offensive lineman.
That
or
is
if it's
very
a defensive
sexy,
lineman
you bet.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
So I know Bilstad loves all the podium guys and all the pretty faces. When you look at who wins, it's the big uglies. The Chiefs didn't have the big uglies this year. The Eagles did. The Eagles are the Super Bowl champs.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Art Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Kohler Services and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tausch, as we've been reflecting on the passing of Bucks great Junior Bridgman, a couple of things stood out to me as a kid who grew up here and remember when Junior played, is the outpouring of support from the rest of the league, how big of a deal he was and what kind of inspiration he was to other players historically. And something that Shaquille O'Neal said about him really stood out to me. I'm going to have Erik play Shaq's comments on the passing of Junior Bridgman.
This is last night on TNT.
A lot of people don't know this, but I've patterned my whole business acumen after Junior Bridgman. They always tell us stories about how 75% of athletes 0 to 5 years after they're done playing go broke. And I never wanted to be that.
Tausch, go broke? I've been looking at a number of statistics, and it depends on your source, but it does appear, no matter what the numbers say, large percentages of professional athletes got nothing to show for it years after they retire.
Yeah, that's been, I think one of the things that a lot of the leagues have gotten better at is trying to protect their players. Obviously, the money has spiked dramatically, so it's, you can make mistakes now and it doesn't cripple you forever. Maybe back in the 70s and 80s that wasn't the case. But for me, I think, Junior Bridgman, from the standpoint of his family and the legacy that he has left, because there have been a lot of really good players. There's been a lot of great players, both NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball. His story, when you get to know more about it, and the fact that he has had the success off the court that he has, we're all competitors. I think you could put his story in what, he became a billionaire and he became a minority owner in the Bucks, and he set the tone. And for Shaq to kind of jump into that, Magic Johnson had very similar thoughts, and Magic is one of those guys that I think people look at as their second act and went and did some big, great things too. I just think a ton of respect, because most guys struggle. I think most former athletes, they struggle trying to find kind of their next role. I think Junior Bridgman, you make a really good statement, say he's probably almost more known for what he's done with his franchises and his off-the-court stuff.
Yeah.
And this isn't a guy that had a marginal career. He had a great NBA career, and he's probably still more well-known, especially in the athlete circles, as the guy you want to emulate how to be successful off the court.
Tosh, do they do any kind of rookie orientation for freshmen, quote unquote, freshman professionals when they first get into a league, where they the team or the league says, okay, here are some things to think about financially.
Hey guys, don't spend all your money tomorrow.
Is that at all discussed, or do agents do that or anything?
So the NFL does what they call a rookie symposium, and for me back 25 years ago now, it was out in San Diego, a nice golf course, and you get a little bit of education on it. But here's the problem, and I don't know if it's changed. I hope it has. I think now you have to, because you're getting paid in college. There's more money, and you have more people that are probably coming at you. But the big thing, you're so worried about making the team and trying to earn money that all of this other stuff, it's secondary, thirdly, and fourthly on the list. So you can get players there. The old saying, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink. That's how these rookie symposiums were. I'm guessing now, as things have gotten more complicated, and for as much as we want to give the younger generation a bunch of grief about taking days off and not maybe playing as hard and being more self-reliant, these guys and gals have become marketing and gurus of their own brand. None of us looked at ourselves as our own brand. We looked at ourselves as part of a team, and we wanted to just go and make it and be. Now it's your own business. You are your own corporation, and you better figure out, you got to get your stuff together, managing it and handling your business, because there's a lot of great opportunities you're going to miss out on if you're not ready for it. And I think, obviously, bringing it back to Junior Bridgman, I think he was one of those guys that, you can go try to find out if you're interested in franchising. How can you get revenue constantly without having to, always be putting all your money into it? There's just a lot of things going on. But, Eric, to answer your question, yes, I think all leagues, it's a bad reflection of the leagues. For the stat that Vinny came out with, if your guys are going 60 and 70% broke, which I think is now probably leaning the other side of 50, it's a bad representation of your league that you haven't done a better job with those players.
There's more after you're done playing than there is on the front end of actually playing. Thanks, Tausch.
You bet.
7:58, Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A $189 million project could transform former Columbia Hospital buildings near UW-Milwaukee into a cutting-edge interdisciplinary health sciences hub. This is the largest planned investment in the Milwaukee area in Governor Tony Evers' proposed $4.1 billion capital budget. Kohl's capped off its fiscal year 2024 with a net sales drop of 9.4% in the fourth quarter. That brings total sales for the year to $15.4 billion, which is a 7.2% decrease compared to fiscal year 2023. Finally, a French bistro planned for the Third Ward could open as soon as October. The restaurant, called Cassis, would be the first business to open in the newly constructed 333 Water Building. I'm Drew Dawson from MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
We did the math. When you buy bagged mulch from the big guys, you pay $50 a yard. Why pay more for inferior mulch? When you buy from Erickson's, you'll get premium mulch for almost half the cost. And you'll see that even our economy mulch is better, for less than half the cost of bag mulch. And either choice is made with premium colorant that lasts longer. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Do you want the economy mulch or the premium? The only real difference is that the premium mulch has thicker strands, while the economy mulch is finer. But the colorant we use for both is of the highest quality, and that's why the color of our mulch lasts longer. And our mulch comes from trees, not pallets, and we process it all in-house. That's why our prices are so low. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Trusted, relevant, Locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
8 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News, Wednesday, March 12th. Our top story, another major round of federal cuts.
I'm Erik Bilstad. An offer for peace is on the table.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Got some delays northbound on 41 coming out of the zoo interchange pretty much all the way up to Burleigh. On the southbound side, it's actually looking okay. Eastbound 94 slowing from 84th Street all the way through to about 35th. The westbound side's backed up from 20th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes from the zoo to the county line. And then northbound 43, just going to be a slow ride from Lincoln all the way up through the Marquette to Keith. Southbound slow from Capitol Drive down towards Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High of 44 at the lake, 53 degrees inland today, and mostly sunny skies. Mostly clear, low down to 32 tonight. Right now, we are at 35 in Milwaukee, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center. More cuts to federal government overnight. The latest round coming from the Department of Education. ABC's Rachel Scott.
Overnight, the Department of Education gutted. More than 1,300 workers told they're being laid off, now cutting the agency roughly in half. Education Secretary Linda McMahon saying those cuts are just the first step.
The department is responsible for everything from managing federal loans for colleges to enforcing civil rights law in schools.
President Trump's tariffs on all aluminum and steel entering the country take effect today, and the European Union is quick to counter.
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen saying two can play at that game.
As the United States are applying tariffs worth $28 billion, we are responding with countermeasures worth 26 billion euros.
American bourbon, jeans, and Harley-Davidson motorcycles facing tariffs of up to 50%. Cosmetics, clothes, wood, soybeans, chicken, beef, and other agricultural produce may also be included. The EU tariffs take effect next month, leaving some time for negotiations if Washington wants that. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
As these 25% tariffs against all aluminum and steel coming into the U.S. begin today, businesses continue to navigate this uncertain space. Lance Trailkill is owner of All Metals Fabricating north of Dallas, Texas. Tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News he's already suffered from earlier tariffs that were set in January.
Most of our aluminum comes from Canada. The heartbeat behind is to have more self-sustained resources, meaning mills in the United States. But the reality is we have 4 mills for aluminum in the United States, and it cannot even produce a tiny fraction of what U.S. manufacturers need.
Tariff on steel and aluminum marks the first time in the president's second term that tariff has been applied to all countries.
Ukraine's president has agreed to support a 30-day ceasefire in the war with Russia. In return, the U.S. would restore military and intelligence support to Ukraine that President Trump had cut off. This after last month's showdown in the Oval Office. CBS News correspondent Holly Williams.
It's a confusing time for American diplomacy. After yesterday's meeting in Saudi Arabia, the U.S. now appears to be back in Ukraine's corner and calling on Russia to agree to a 30-day ceasefire.
If they say no, then we'll unfortunately know what the impediment is to peace here.
That pause has now been lifted, and the president's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, is expected to head to Russia for talks later this week.
Russia says it will, quote, carefully study the ceasefire offer.
Back in Milwaukee, school resource officer training continues this week for 38 Milwaukee cops ahead of a Saturday deadline for the city to have a plan put those officers back in Milwaukee Public Schools. Director of Operations for the National Association of School Resource Officers, Mac Hardy, told TMJ4 News the job requires a unique skill set.
Dealing with the adolescent brain development, to understand that, to understand where the brain development is on these kids, working with students with disabilities, understanding traumatized kids, and understanding kids while they're in stress.
And the officers do have to complete 40 hours of training and have to pass an exam with a score of 70% or higher.
The Wisconsin Elections Commission could take further action today regarding nearly 200 uncounted ballots in the city of Madison during the November election.
The body has already voted to require Madison city workers to sit for depositions regarding the uncounted ballots. That list will likely include City Clerk Marybeth Witzel-Bell. While it hasn't been determined that Witzel-Bell acted illegally by not notifying the commission of the uncounted ballots until December, Commission Chair Ann Jacobs not holding much back last Friday.
I am genuinely troubled by
the number of profoundly bad decisions that are recited in these materials.
The commission meets this afternoon at 3. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
How about that forecast for later this week? Could see highs in the 70s away from Lake Michigan Friday. With these temperatures, southeast Wisconsin's first shot at severe thunderstorms. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore says low pressure right now in the Pacific Northwest will be sweeping into our area by late Friday.
Late Friday night and into the early morning hours on Saturday, we're likely looking at a band of showers and thunderstorms rolling in. With that initial band of showers and thunderstorms, there is the chance for a couple strong to severe storms. Highest risk for that will be towards southwestern Wisconsin.
We'll get you more details on your Storm Team forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Coming up, putting the piano on pause.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
Are you looking for a new car or truck? Well, good news. Inventories have really improved lately, and I have a few ideas to help you find the vehicle of your dreams. I'm Jim Token, president of Adam, the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. The first step to getting that car of your dreams is to visit any of the 115 Adam member dealerships, where you can see their selection in person and take test drives. You can also find out about the new cars they have on order and reserve the one you want. Or if you really want to get the exact car you're dreaming of, they can order it for you. It might take a few weeks for delivery, but hey, wouldn't it be nice to have the perfect vehicle built just for you? This is your chance. Plus, if you're thinking of trading in your current car or ending your lease early, you'll be amazed at what dealers are offering. And if you prefer to handle the negotiations and paperwork remotely, no problem. Most Adam dealers will even bring cars to you for test drives. So don't wait. Start your search now. Find an Adam member dealer near you at adamm.com.
Celebrate a birthday, anniversary, or retirement this week with a free dinner at the historic Fox & Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill. Buy one dinner, get one free, 7 nights a week. Google Fox & Hounds restaurant and enjoy your free dinner.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
This 15-year-old boy charged with killing his mother in Racine County is set to appear in court again today. Investigators say Reed Galinsky may have been inspired by a Netflix documentary on the Menendez brothers when he is accused of hitting his mother with a dumbbell before repeatedly stabbing her. The court has set his bail at $1 million.
Lessons learned during the COVID-19 pandemic are being put to use 5 years later in West Texas to confront an unprecedented measles outbreak.
Healthcare workers in counties hit by measles have cordoned off spaces in clinics and hospitals to conduct measles swab tests, just as they did during the pandemic. They're using social media to blast out messages about vaccination effectiveness and availability. Catherine Wells heads the health department in Lubbock.
If you need the vaccine, especially young children or individuals that have never been vaccinated, come to one of our clinics.
She says federal COVID dollars from 5 years ago have helped to prepare her department for the current measles outbreak. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The Piano Man pushing off several of his 2025 tour dates, including the one here in Milwaukee, April 26th.
Sing us a song, you're the Piano Man.
It's one of 8 concerts being postponed as the 75-year-old Joel recovers from recent surgery. According to a statement from the artist, Joel is expected to make a full recovery, and tour dates scheduled from July 5th on will proceed as planned. The April 26th show in Milwaukee with Sting has yet to be rescheduled. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Billy Joel last played Milwaukee in 2019. Open date, I guess you could book the Eddie Butts Band. Love Monkeys available.
That's a tough show to cancel or at least postpone. Sting and Billy Joel?
Yeah.
It's too bad.
8:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
We have an exciting giveaway this week on Spanning the State.
One fan will win 2 front row tickets to see the Beach Boys coming to the Riverside Theater Friday, May 23rd.
Tune in to Spanning the State this Friday.
With timeless songs that shaped music history, they continue to inspire generations.
Experience the music, the magic, the good vibrations. The Beach Boys are still making waves.
Win 2 front row tickets to the Beach Boys coming to Riverside Theater May 23rd. Tune in to Spanning the State this Friday.
The latest gift with purchase has arrived at your local Merle Norman Cosmetics, including Foundation Primer Plus, Soft Touch Eyeshadow Duo, Lasting Cheek Color, and Plush Lip Liner and Pinky Swear. You'll take it everywhere you go. Shop in studio now and take a look at our Spring Berry Cherry Color Collection at Merle Norman Cosmetics Salon and Spa at Brookfield Square. Free with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman Cosmetic products. Cosmetic accessories not included. Offer valid while supplies last at participating Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios only. Limit 1 per customer. We reserve the right to modify the gift if needed. Promotion not available at merlenorman.com.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
When it comes to your career, you have the advantage. Well, it's time to take advantage. The LAK Group offers career coaching so that you can identify and amplify your unique skill set. Gives your career a bump, or maybe you're just trying to get better in sync with your organization. Maybe you like your job, you just want to be better at it. From resume critiques to job offer negotiation, personal branding, career coaching from LAK gets you on the right path. Learn more at transformingcareers.com. That's transformingcareers.com. LAK. Discover your human advantage.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Burkhart.
Buy one pizza today, get a second pizza free at the amazing Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford and in Oshkosh. Don't cook, don't even think about it. You don't need to clean up either. Call, order, and pick up shortly, or just walk in for your free Thursday pizza, mineshaftrestaurant.com.
811, what's happening on the roads, Debbie?
Well, we got a crash now on northbound 94 just past Ryan Road off on the shoulder, so something to keep in mind if you're heading through there. More delays, though, north of the Plainfield curve all the way past Oklahoma Avenue. Back on the brakes from the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Southbound slowing down a bit from Capitol Drive down to Keefe. Westbound on 94, we got backups from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Highway 100 to the county line. Eastbound slowing down from 84th Street to about 35th. And some slowing on northbound 41 out of the Zoo interchange all the way up past Watertown Plain. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
So we got a lot of cooler near the lake days ahead of us here. Mostly sunny skies today. Lakeside high will be 44. Could touch 53 degrees if you're away from Lake Michigan. Mostly clear tonight, low down to 32. And then for Thursday, 59 degrees your high away from the lake. Should be 50 for the lakeside high on Thursday. Also mostly sunny. Right now, 35 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
8:13 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Greg Pancake Hill producing the program. Erik Bilstead, Vince Vitrano here with you until 9 o'clock. We'll keep Debbie on the cars and Adam's in the newsroom. Getting us the latest updates.
4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9. Go SpaceX, go Spherex, go Punch.
Spherex and Punch on their way to map out our universe like never before and revolutionize space weather forecasting.
Okay, that's a pretty good mission, right? Mapping out the universe as never before, E.
Great.
Yes,
Show us
blasting
something
into
new.
space overnight. NASA's newest space telescope rocketing into orbit Tuesday. A few weather monitoring satellites on board the SpaceX rocket as well. This liftoff from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California, but appropriate usage today. All eyes, Erik, at least in the space world, are on Cape Canaveral tonight.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Yeah, the bigger launch is still ahead, and right now looks like a go. Crew 10, 2 NASA astronauts, astronaut from Japan, and a Russian cosmonaut, all scheduled to lift off, headed for the International Space Station. This mission, however, is less about who's going up and more about who's coming back.
We're coming up to get you. I've authorized Elon. I said, can you get them out? Because, you know, they've been left up there. I hope they like each other.
President Trump, we're coming up to get you. Perhaps taking a bit more credit for the mission that is actually, occurring now. It would have occurred at some point anyway without the president's intervention. Nonetheless, he's right. They have been left up there. Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams left Earth in June for a 1-week mission. They're still not home. And y'all, it's mid-March.
Oh.
Right? My goodness.
Who's more ready for them to be gone? Those who are currently living at the space station or these two astronauts?
These guys were only supposed to be here a week, right? We haven't talked about who else has been up there the whole time. assuming they've been good roommates and compatriots, but we'll see. They've been living in space after there was trouble with their Boeing operation that was to bring them home. Right, it got them up there safely, but they were worried about the capsule being able to bring them back safely. And yet, for whatever reason, then over the last 9 months, we haven't figured out another way to get them off. So that time has now come. Mission should be finally bringing them home. The launch tonight, and then docking with the ISS early tomorrow morning. So the launch will put them up into orbit tonight, but you got to catch up with the space station where it is in Earth orbit. Then they dock tomorrow morning. I think that's supposed to happen right before our show. So in the 5 a.m. hour, our time tomorrow. So we'll have a good idea of whether things are clicking along as they're supposed to.
If there's capture.
Yes. So they won't exactly be heading right home, though. You would think, open the door, get me in.
All right, see you guys.
The hell out of here. Right,
Great to meet you. I'm out.
Right. But unfortunately, the Uber is going to stay parked in the driveway for almost a week. They're talking about early next week before they actually come home because there are things to do. There's the onboarding of the new crew. Other folks, here's where this is, here's where that is.
You had to re-prep the machine in some fashion, the return capsule.
Yeah, I suppose there are astronaut things that you do in there.
So you say they just show them around. Okay, so there's where you get your coffee.
Anyway, this is where I've been staying.
There's where you do your exercises.
Yeah. Now, this is where the best views are, right over here. If you need some time alone, it's right. There's probably some of that, right? I don't know in this crew if our astronauts have been to the ISS already or if this is one of their first missions up there.
This is where Butch has been staying. Technically, it's my bed, but he's been staying here the whole time. I'm in the other place.
Right. So that's all
I'm
coming.
down the hall now because of Butch.
It's all coming, right. Well, the president suggested, I hope they get along. Well, got a little stranger, actually, in some of the president's comments from the Oval Office last week.
I hope they like each other, but maybe they'll love each other. I don't know.
What is that even?
Maybe they'll love each other. I don't know.
Just the stream of consciousness from the president. Like, it's occurred to people in the history of space travel. I wonder if anything goes on up there or
any funny
whatever.
business.
But nobody says that out loud in the Oval Office. I wonder. Yeah, they've been up there. And also, here's the thing. It's not like they're alone. They're not marooned somewhere in some remote place. Like, there are other people on the International Space Station doing their thing.
And they're both married to other people.
But, see, he can't help himself. If it pops in the head, it comes out.
I see the woman with the wild hair, good solid head of hair she's got. There's no kidding. There's no games with her hair. But
so he's talking about Sunny, who... I suppose, but it's space, so the hair flow,
All right.
Anybody with longer hair that doesn't have it, tied down or braids or whatever you would have, it's going to pop up. And I think it's a little bit curly, too, So
is the rush on? Who gets them on the air first? Who gets the first interview? Is that
once you get
GMA like a week later?
Got to be trying, and that's a good amount of time in space. Like, typically, if you're up there for months, we've had folks up there past a year even, but your body deteriorates. There's a lot of atrophy in the muscles, so it's difficult to walk even once you get back on Earth gravity.
We've seen astronauts pass out during the news conference the next day where they have them all standing up there and boom, one goes down.
Right, imagine the last 9 months you've weighed 0 pounds.
Right, yeah.
And now here you are and then reacclimating to Earth, family, all the stuff. So there's a lot of that will go into it. The president also did mention an urgency about getting Butch and Sunny back.
And there's a danger up there, too. They can have some failures up there that would be very bad. You got to get them out.
You got to get them out. Now, I'm going to pick on him a little bit here, too. I don't know what increased danger there has been for these two outside of what normally is any danger that is inherent in space travel or living in Earth orbit where people are not supposed to be. So, yes, there is, of course, always a danger, but not any more so for these two because they've had to stay longer. There's food up there. There's water up there. There's plenty of air for everybody.
Do you think when they're reading the fine print and signing all the documents before they shoot up to the space station, are they told, hey, anything could happen up there? So we're supposed to see you in a week, but it could be 2 years. Just so you know.
I don't know that 2 years was in the fine print, though. Could be a week, could be a couple of years.
But, I mean, that has to be understood that, be prepared for anything.
I wanted to be an astronaut, right?
Yes,
when I was a kid. So, there is no question, having met several astronauts, having, studied it as I did, that every man and woman who's ever gone up to space knows exactly that anything can happen, and they are still proud to do this job in every way.
And actually, just being stuck up there could actually be a goal and a life dream for some of them.
Might want to stay for a little bit. And it certainly, when things do go wrong, beats the tragic alternative that we've seen, which every astronaut accepts is a reality of space travel. And they're proud to do that for this human endeavor that is living in space.
Where does the International Space Station fall in your mind as far as human achievement? Is it top 10, top 5 in human achievement? We've been able to create a living environment that never needs to return to Earth, that people live on.
Yeah, I don't know. I still put it behind the moon
round.
landing, because that was landing on another celestial body, and more importantly, getting back off it and getting back safely.
Which we've seen they've had unmanned ships land on it recently and not do well.
Right. So I would still put that ahead of the space station, even though that permanent presence in Earth orbit has already been a thing. But
creating oxygen, and water.
Figuring out how to do it over the long haul is impressive, but I'd still put it behind the moon landing.
Interesting.
But either way, to your point, pretty impressive. So here is the launch tonight, 7:48 East Coast time, 6:48 our time is when it is supposed to lift off. Weather looks good in Florida this morning. They're calling it, last I saw, was a 95% chance that conditions will be favorable for launch tonight.
Maybe they'll love each other. I don't know.
Checking in with you here, Debbie, on the morning drive.
All right, that accident near Ryan Road is gone, so that's good news. Northbound 43, seeing delays coming out of the Marquette all the way up towards Keefe. Southbound's pretty much clear, just a little quick tap of the brakes heading past Burleigh. Westbound 94, slowing from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound slowing down from 84th Street all the way to 35th, a little bit more delayed right through the Marquette. And then northbound on 41, you're slowing down north of Watertown Plank Road all the way up past North Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tax tips are brought to you by the Neal Group. For less stress with the IRS, visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL Group.net for a free consultation.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. Tax tip number 7. Did you know a limited liability company, or LLC, can file a tax return 4 different ways? Many businesses form an LLC to separate the business from them personally for legal purposes to avoid liability. But figuring out the best way to file taxes can require some advice from a tax professional. LLCs can file using Form 1040 on Schedule C. LLCs can file as an S corporation or a C corporation using Form 1120S or 1120. LLCs can file as a partnership using Form 1065. There are usually other forms that need to be filed with the IRS before filing as a corporation or a partnership. Other questions surround the LLC designation, too. Can an LLC own another LLC? Yes. Does rental property need to have its own LLC? Maybe, maybe not. There are other reasons to form an LLC, but be sure to know your circumstances before electing which form to file. For more information on this tip and other tax tips, go to nealgroup.net or stop in and see us.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at Right Choice Tax Resolution. We have talked with a number of new clients who told us the same story. They had a tax situation and went with one of those national firms with the TV and radio ads. You know the ones. They guarantee they can settle your tax owed for pennies on the dollar. They take a $10,000 fee up front, and then you never hear from them again. We are a local firm and just want to help you resolve your situation so you can get on with your life. Don't let your bank account get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security get garnished, or a lien put on your house so that you can't sell it or get refinanced. The state can even put a hold on your occupational license. Make the right choice and call 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us today. Schedule a free meeting so we can talk and come up with a solution to solve your situation now. It will not go away if you bury your head in the sand. The first meeting is free. Call now, 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit freighter.com/heart.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
We get it. You're on the go, and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it, no matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ.
This week's Home Improvement Showcase is sponsored by Yutka Fence, keeping families and homes safe by protecting what you love most.
8:26 on Wisconsin's Morning News. I'm compelling you to do this story. Do you not want to do this story, or you do?
I'm just confused.
You have
by
to.
it. I'm confused how this happens. And there's science behind it, apparently. So a lot of drugs have different side effects, right?
Of course. Watch any of the one of the commercials. May cause them. May cause drowsiness.
I mean, some of the strange ones we've seen before is the one that says, like, it may feel like you have hair on your tongue or something. It's like, what? Like, these just weird. Some of them are a little bit more unique than others when it comes to side effects from the drugs. Well, what about this one?
Several began engaging in risky sex with strangers.
Yeah.
Hang on.
What if the drug promotes you to have risky sex with strangers? Not making this up. This is according to the BBC. It's a side effect from a drug that some women have been taking. It's a dopamine drug that is used, and it prompts them to have altered sexual interest, increased libido, and harmful behavior. And it's caused all kinds of issues.
One woman described leaving her partner and newborn baby at home to go cruising for sex with strangers. When she stopped taking the drug, the behavior stopped. She says she still feels mortification and shame at what she did.
Yeah. Another woman racked up nearly $200,000 in gambling debts, devastating her family.
This is just women, though?
There was a case of a man who sexually assaulted someone, too, while taking a drug for Parkinson's. This is for RLS. That's usually when these women were taking this drug. The only way I could describe it was that it was just deviant, says one woman talking to the BBC. Claire says she began leaving her house in the early hours of the morning to cruise for sex. Wearing a see-through top and jacket, she would flash her chest at any man she could find. She did this regularly, she says, in increasingly dangerous locations, despite having a partner. There remains an element in your head that knows what you're doing is wrong, but it affects you to the point that you don't know what you're doing it, or that you're doing it. She said it took them years to figure out that it was connected to her medicine, because it's not like in the leaflet. So she couldn't describe it or explain why she was doing these things. How does her partner feel after, like, hey,
much better now? Well, that explains it.
How do they put this into the disclaimer at the end of the commercial?
Right?
Absolutely, Debbie. How do you phrase that?
You may lift your shirt.
Right.
May cause sexual deviancy.
May cause unintended nakedness.
There's a difference between, like, increased libido, though, and sexual deviancy.
Like with anyone.
Risky behavior with strangers? Like, why does it have
Why
to
did
be
it have to be strangers? That, you know what? You asked about the response from the partner. That's the response. I was right here. I was right here.
So apparently,
what about me?
The drugs work by mimicking the behavior of dopamine, a natural chemical in our brains which helps regulate movement, says the BBC. It's known as the happy hormone because it is activated when something is pleasurable or we feel rewarded. So there is a little bit of that's where the gambling comes in.
Okay.
And
it
there's
clearly
another
altered the behavior.
Yeah, there's another case of a woman saying that it was shopping. Like it triggered like this shopping effect. So there's that, I don't know, a hidden pleasurable moment of thrill, right? And that might be what's leading to it. It's not like
So it's not necessarily the sex. It triggers some sort of compulsive behavior. Right.
So does it have to be illegal? Why don't they just do something else risky?
See, I think that's a great question, Debbie, because I think that would indicate the idea of the deviance, right? Like, because you know you're not supposed to.
Where are we at? Is this still on the market, this drug? Or like, where are we at with this? Are we suing?
The reason it's making the news is because they're saying doctors didn't warn women of this, quote, risky sex drug. So
risky sex.
Yeah. Well, not risky sex drug. Risky sex drug.
The drug that causes risky drug.
Yes. Yeah. Perceive that however you would like. So anyway, because of that, they're saying that, like, yeah, there's enough people that have taken it that had side effects where they're like, look, like, this wasn't just a one-person thing. The sample size is big enough where you have to be careful with some of these drugs that you're taking, especially these dopamine ones for RLS. So because of that, geez. Yeah.
Coming up, the opening bell on Wall Street has just rung. We'll get you the latest numbers on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Several began engaging in risky sex with strangers.
Feeling the winter chill even inside your house? WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. Let me help you with that. We're talking today with Jeff Baer. He is owner of USA Insulation. USA to the rescue, Jeff. First things first, how often do you find working with existing homeowners that their homes are not properly insulated?
All the time, Vince. People just don't realize it. They finally look in their attic. They see they're running short there. And then we educate them on they might have some needs in their walls.
Now, do you find sometimes one area of the house needs a little more insulation, but another area is good?
On some occasions, absolutely.
But others not so much, right?
Correct. When we go out to your home, if we see that your insulation looks great, we're going to let you know that, and we're going to focus on the areas that you might have needs.
We're talking with Jeff Baer of USA Insulation of Milwaukee. All right, so what I think is so interesting about your company, Jeff, is you do it different. You get right into the walls of any exterior surface. Tell us about your innovative, highly effective injection foam insulation.
Sure, Vince. When we go out to a home, whether it's vinyl or aluminum sided or other surfaces, our goal is to remove that one piece of that siding all the way around the house, drill holes into the outer sheathing to gain access into the stud cavity. We then insert our foaming hose down, foam it from the bottom up, insert it up, foam from the top down. When we're done, we put a plug in place, and we replicate that as we go around the house. Once we're done, we clean up that side and put the siding back on. It's as if we were never there.
Now, is this the kind of thing that takes a couple of weeks to get done?
Absolutely not. Most homes we can generally get done in one day.
How about cost for homeowners?
Cost? Generally, on a 1,200 square foot ranch, you're looking at a price around $7,500.
But there are all these rebates, right, and discounts for qualified homeowners?
Absolutely. We've seen people get anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 in rebates, just depending on what they qualify for.
Well, and then you start with the energy savings right away.
Absolutely.
I feel warmer already, Jeff. Thank you. USA Insulation, usainsulation.net. .33 on Wisconsin's Morning News. I'm Vince Vitrano. It's March 12th, our top story. Ball is now in Russia's court.
I'm Erik Bilstad. A resolution on those missing ballots.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Northbound on 43, slowing down from Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe. Southbound's opened up, though, looking pretty good, all the way down from Capitol Drive to the Marquette. And we've also got some delays eastbound 94 from 76th Street to 35th. Westbound slowing from 27th to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today. High of 53 inland, about 10 degrees cooler if you're near Lake Michigan. And mostly clear tonight, low down to 32. Right now, Milwaukee at 35. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, minutes off the opening bell, markets are up out of the gate. We'll get you the latest numbers in a moment. First, this peace talks overseas. Ukraine says they would agree to a 30-day ceasefire with Russia at a refueling station in Ireland. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the ball is now in Russia's court.
As far as the Russian reaction to it, that's really the question here. And that is, this was a few hours old. We're going to bring it to them directly. We're going to say that Ukraine is prepared to stop all battlefield activity.
Multiple videos circulating online show the Russian flag being raised in Ukraine's Kursk region, an area that has seen intense conflict.
New information starting to come out this morning in the disappearance of University of Pittsburgh student Sudishu Konaki during a spring break trip to the Dominican Republic. His CBS News correspondent Manuel Bajorquez is there.
The sheriff's department in Loudoun County, Virginia, where Konaki is from, saying that the young man who was last seen with her at the beach is considered a person of interest in this case. But they stress that it remains a missing persons case and not a criminal investigation.
There's surveillance video from the resort she was at that shows the 20-year-old walking with friends towards the beach after a night at a club. That was a week ago. Then there's video of all the friends walking back at later times, but she never returned. That's the last time she was seen.
Wisconsin Elections Commission could take further action today regarding some nearly 200 uncounted ballots from the November election in the city of Madison. The commission on Friday voted to force Madison city workers to sit for depositions, likely including the city clerk, Maribeth Witzel-Bale. Last week, the WEC chair, Ann Jacobs, called several of the decisions made by the clerk's office nonsensical.
The idea that you should print out your poll books 2 weeks before the election in the city of Madison, where you have a population of students who notoriously vote the weekend before, that is a nonsensical decision.
Commission has not yet made a decision on whether Witzel-Bale acted illegally or improperly.
Clock is ticking on Real ID. This is the federally compliant license for people who are traveling through the U.S. airports or visiting federal buildings. You'll need this Real ID. Federal Security Director for TSA Wisconsin, Mark Lenve.
Beginning May 7th, transportation security officers with the TSA at our nation's airports will start enforcing the Real ID requirements at our ticket document checker positions. Individuals without a Real ID would be delayed in going through our TSA screening process, and that delay could be anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes trying to get through TSA security checkpoints.
A lot of people may have a Real ID and not even realize it. They've been starting to implement them over the last several years. You can tell if you have a Wisconsin Real ID if it has a star in the top right-hand corner of the card.
News Bunch of Money this morning, WTMJ, Annex Wealth Management Market Update. And just minutes off the opening bell, markets stabilizing and, in fact, on the rise. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up more than 153 points to 41,586. S&P 500 up over 1% at 5634. And the NASDAQ at 17,774. That is up 338 points, almost 2% in trading so far this morning. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Traffic is sponsored by the residential and commercial electrical experts at Best Electric. It's bestelect.com.
Connect with Best Electric for panel upgrades, electrical vehicle charging installation, and residential electric service calls. Visit bestelect.com today.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, memory care issues. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I've been in their places. I love how they deal with people. It's about compassion and empathy at Azura. Kindness is at their core. 14 locations from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, 4 here in the Milwaukee area. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's about kindness and care. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now, you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do, like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking? And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
8:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. This from the world of sports. Boy, it broke my heart what you just said, but I think I agree with you. Say it again.
I think Tiger Woods is done.
Done. News breaking that Tiger Woods, who's suffered through a series of injuries, obviously in his career, but then got things back on track and then injured again, and then in 2021, the car accident. But he was expected to play in the Masters tournament coming up in April. Now, this weekend, we have what's regarded in golf as the fifth major. So TPC Sawgrass, the Players' Championship. Tiger wasn't playing a ton of Pro Tour competitive golf. He would pop up here and there, but he was expected to be in the Masters, which if he can make the cut and just be around, there's still always that excitement that Tiger adds to every tournament, even if he wasn't expected to win or compete. But you can never count the guy out because he's Tiger, even in his tough conditions. So he has suffered now another injury. Tiger posting to his own social media that he blew his Achilles tendon, and that's going to keep him out for the Masters. Said that it was just working out. As I began to ramp up my own training and practice at home, I felt a sharp pain in my left Achilles, which was deemed to be ruptured. Done. You've declared him done.
So what's the retired players? What do they play on?
The Pro Tour champions.
And they can use golf
they used
carts,
to call it
right?
They used to call it the Senior Tour.
Senior Tour,
right? But none of those guys like that, so now it's the Champions Tour. But that's what Stricker is dominant on. Jerry Kelly of Wisconsin dominant on this tour.
They use carts.
They can.
So maybe could he go to that and keep playing there, and then do a couple of these other tourneys if he so chose?
He could. You wonder if Tiger has too much pride to ride in a cart. Even and it's they still obviously walk up to the green on their own. They still whatever. But I wonder about that. It's a good question. If the inhibition or the barrier for Tiger to perform well in these tournaments was his ability to walk these golf courses 4 and 5 hours at a time, uphill, downhill, whatever, because of his body being so far out of whack, but the swing was still good, then you could say, maybe he would do that, and that's a path to him being competitive. But
so my freshman, he gets Golf Digest. And I think they just had a double issue, like a Master's issue or whatever.
I believe you're correct.
And I just it was on the counter. I picked it up. I leafed through it. I hit 5 different pages, just quick leaf through.
Yep.
3 of the 5 pages had a picture of Tiger Woods in it.
And he hasn't been competitive in an event since when, right?
Right. Yet he of my 5 pages that I glanced at, 3 of them had a picture of Tiger Woods.
Right. When was that ridiculous comeback Masters? When 18?
I think 18 is the last one.
Right, pre-COVID for sure. So, to your point, though, he's still larger than golf and now has broken with Nike and created his own brand entirely. He's doing this video golf tour thing
which is
and
fun.
all of that, which is fun and interesting.
That,
And if it makes golf more accessible,
sure.
I'm old school, so I will still always watch golf. I've not gotten much into the Live Tour, which is that other thing, because it's not because guys are wearing shorts, but it's loose. I don't know what's going on. There's all sorts of stuff on the screen, things I don't know. This guy's on this team. They're bing, bang, bang. I just like golf.
My boys like that simulator stuff.
But they do.
Been hot now. They've been watching that on TV.
You have to be, if you want to save the game and you want to keep the game growing, you have to be for some of those things, even if it's not your cup of tea. But Tiger still transcends that world. He's the Michael Jordan of our time, of a guy who's bigger than the sport and has created so much, based off of that. Speaking of which, another guy who is bigger than the sports, whose second act is widely regarded as even more impressive than the first once he retired, our Junior Bridgman for the Milwaukee Bucks, passing away suddenly and unexpectedly yesterday. We're going to hear, what did you pull? It was a speech that Bridgman made?
Yes, it was a speech. He was honored. He was given the Hall of Fame membership of a entrepreneurship group out of Louisville, where he was huge. He was huge in Louisville. This is 10 years ago, this speech. Some of the things he said and some of the people he points out. You'll hear that next. Pretty remarkable stuff.
Checking in with Debbie here on the traffic.
Excuse me, right. Northbound on 43, slowing down from about Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe. We've got westbound 94, slowing down from 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's got a couple pockets of heavy traffic starting around 76th Street to Holly Road, and then again through the Stadium Interchange proper. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Comfort Awnings and Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Spring is finally here. Everybody itching to get back outside. Boy, look at the forecast. We might touch 70 degrees away from the lake on Friday. Well, this important reminder, maybe you got a kid going out for a spring sport, or you're back on the court or out taking a walk. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, keep them top of mind. Nobody plans to get hurt while playing sports or doing other things, but rest easy knowing that where you go and what hands you'll be in is a question that I can answer for you right now. Now available 7 days a week for walk-ins or 24/7 virtually. OAW specializes in total joint, spine, and sports medicine. Not only is Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin convenient, but how about this news? 19 OAW physicians recently named to Milwaukee Lifestyle Top Doctors of 2025. To experience their exceptional care and dedication to patients, visit orthowisconsin.com.
Julie Granger is the president of Junior Achievement of Wisconsin. Julie, your organization has business technology from James Imaging Systems. Yet today, please tell us about Junior Achievement's unique mission.
Junior Achievement of Wisconsin has a mission of inspiring and preparing young people for success in a global economy. We serve students anywhere from kindergarten through 12th grade, and we just started serving young adults 18 to 25.
I understand financial literacy is also an important part of your mission.
Financial literacy is critical to the long-term success of every individual so that they can plan their futures and they can live their dreams.
To help turn those dreams into reality, how can everyone get involved?
We are looking for people who are willing to donate their time, treasure, and talent to the organization.
What's the first step?
The best way to reach us is through our website, wisconsin.ja.org.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
8:47 on Wisconsin's Morning News. News late yesterday afternoon. Passing of Junior Bridgman. Buck's great. His number's up there in the rafters at Fiserv Forum. But as we indicated, who Junior Bridgman became as a businessman and a member of our community and multiple others. I mean, this guy was a national name. And the inspiration that he was to so many generations of pro athletes after him about this is how you model your life once you retire.
Yep, Shaq, one of those guys who said last night that Junior Bridgman is what led him to do what he does now in his post-NBA career.
I got to tell you, I didn't know that about Junior. And again, this is like sometimes when things are close to you, you don't know. Like I knew he was our guy. I even could tell you a couple of the fast food restaurants, like it was just, oh yeah, that's one of Junior Bridgman's place. Like you might see him in there today if you went and got your Whopper or something. But I knew that was a local story. We knew that. I had no idea that he was so widely regarded by generations of pro athletes in other places.
Also adored in Louisville, of course, where he played. So 10 years ago, he was honored at the 2014 Kentucky Entrepreneur Hall of Fame ceremony, and he spoke for about 10 minutes. About his life and his influences and his inspirations. Wanted to bring this to you. So he mentioned several people in this 4-minute clip, and he starts with Jim Fitzgerald, a former Bucks owner.
Back at that time, they had selected me to really represent the players in collective bargaining. And what's that mean? That means that we would sit on one table, on the other side of the table would be the owners, and we would argue and yell over per diem and how many games we're going to play and how many people are going to be on a team. And that would go on for weeks. And I would notice that during the breaks, the owners would get up and they'd go over in their corner, and we'd be in our corner because we didn't want to deal with them. And I would kind of ease my way over to kind of see what they were talking about. And they weren't talking about basketball. I remember one year they were talking about promoting a new movie that was going to come out called The Sting, and one of the other owners was talking about this multi-unit condominium complex he was going to build in Kansas City. And as I watched them, I saw how excited they got talking about all these business projects. And so I went to Mr. Fitzgerald, and I said, I don't understand. I mean, what could be more exciting than basketball? And how are these guys not just interested in this? And he said, well, for you, you're playing, but for them, business, that's their game. That's what gets them excited. And I said, I've got to understand that a little bit more. And so as we talked over the years, one day he asked me, so what are you going to do when you stop playing? I said, well, I'm going to get involved in the business world. And he said, well, what are you going to do? I'm going to do business. And he said, what kind of business? I said, business. And he kind of chuckled, and he said, well, I'll tell you one thing. And I said, okay, what's that? He said, if you get involved in business, you're only going to have two problems. I said, oh, this is going to be good. I got to remember this. I said, well, what are they? He said, people and money. And I must say, money's been something that's been kind of here and there, but I've been fortunate enough to work with some great people, and a lot of them are sitting here today. I'm not going to ask them to stand up, but they've been the reason why we've been successful, along with my family that's been here and has been supporting us for all these years, through the good and the bad. And the last person I'm going to mention, someone that you all know and have seen on commercials, and that's a gentleman by the name of Dave Thomas. And Dave Thomas was just like what you saw in the commercials. If he had to act, those commercials would never have worked, because Dave couldn't act. He couldn't. I went to one shoot. It took Dave 2 hours to say one line. So I knew that it just had to be natural. But Dave wrote a book, and he came to Milwaukee, where we were at, and to promote his book. And so one of the TV stations asked that he come by and just do an interview, and he got me, said, well, you're going to go with me. And so I said, well, all right, Dave, if you're asking me to go, I'll go. So we went to the TV station, and the lady was doing the interview. We're sitting there, and she says, well, Junior, let me ask you one thing. How many restaurants do you have? And I said, well, I think we had like 34 at that time. She said, wow, are you one of the largest Wendy's franchisees there are? And before I could answer, Dave jumped in and he said, you know, it's not important how big you are. What's important is how good are you. And I never forgot that. And through all these years of adding restaurants, it's never been about how many, but it's always been about how good are we.
That's Junior Bridgman speaking at the 2014 Kentucky Entrepreneur Hall of Fame ceremony honoring Jim Fitzgerald and, of course, Wendy's Dave Thomas.
8:52 on Wisconsin's Morning News. One more time before 9 o'clock here, Debbie.
Okay, northbound on 43, still seeing delays from just before Fond du Lac Avenue past Keefe. Eastbound 94 backed up from 68th to 35th. The westbound side's just tightening up right through the stadium interchange. Otherwise, everything else is pretty much back to normal. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Steve Scafidi is your guide through the world of politics.
And I'll just tell you, I'm worried about this because I think we should be an ally of Ukraine. What do you think? There are also righteous fights, and the people of Ukraine are fighting for their freedoms and their liberty.
On the Political Power Hour.
This guy is erratic, and I don't know if it's because of his personal issues or his inability to see them.
About? Look, let's leave that.
Weekday mornings from 9 to 10 on WTMJ.
This week's Home Improvement Showcase, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, features Yutka Fence. Family-owned, 57 years. Yutka Fence, your trusted provider of vinyl, wood, aluminum, chain link, and ornamental fences, committed to craftsmanship and customer satisfaction. Yutka is your reliable partner for all fencing projects. Yutka doesn't just build fences either. They build relationships based on care, trust, precision, and protecting what matters most. Mention you're a WTMJ fan for 10% off your project. Schedule your free estimate at yutkafence.com or call 262-859-3226.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam members employ more than 7,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 14th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil promotion. To date, Adam has donated over $875,000, which provided over 2.6 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
The Census Bureau says more than 12,000 Americans turn 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. Some Annex clients retire early. Some keep working because they love it. You know why? Because they've got custom plans built by fee-only fiduciaries. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work. We want to do the same for you. Annex does financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
When Blaine's Farm and Fleet was founded 70 years ago, selling goods at a discount wasn't the norm. The Blaine brothers helped pioneer a new era in retail, and we've helped supply Midwest farms and families with quality products at unbeatable prices ever since. Like assorted Steelworks welding stock, 10% off, and 200-pound AgroMaster protein tubs are on sale, only $64.99. In store or online, we've got the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
8:56 on Wisconsin's Morning News. So busy day ahead, a few things to watch for. We made fun of it a little bit. The news conference about the Miller free rides.
Yeah, that's later on this morning. They're doing it again, offering the free rides. They've been doing it since 1988 for your St. Patrick's Day festivities.
So that's sponsored by Miller Lite, these rides that are free on Milwaukee County Transit to get you around. But
can you sing the
we
song?
question the need for the news conference since they've done this for like 30 years.
Yes.
The song that we can't find is, and you'll remember it, Miller free rides on St. Patty's Day, Miller free rides on St. Patty's Day. Why isn't that on YouTube somewhere?
You'd think some ad agency would promote the heck out of that.
Check your cabinet at home, see if you got a VHS on it, and send us a recording. Right? Somebody's going to do that, right? Also today, the earliest possible time we might hear about what's going on with Trowbridge within Milwaukee Public Schools. They told us midweek they might have an update. It wouldn't be earlier than midweek as to when students and families might return to their school. They've been out of that building since last week due to issues of lead dust. They're working on that issue. Might get an update from the health department or MPS today.
How are the markets looking?
And the market's right now off the opening bell about a half hour. Interesting mix here. The NASDAQ is up over 1%. The S&P 500 up almost 0.5%, but the Dow is falling once again. It's down 138 points, so a little over 1/3 of a percent. But as we say, it's early yet. WTMJ's Political Power Hour with Steve Scafidi next.
You said forget about the airline. Let's take the car and save the fare.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A $189 million project could transform former Columbia Hospital buildings near UW-Milwaukee into a cutting-edge interdisciplinary health sciences hub. This is the largest planned investment in the Milwaukee